You know I don't play right. Just give me the word, You know I don't play right. Don't give me this. I'm gonna get back when I feel like. You know I don't play right. I'll put up a good fight. Just give me the word, You know I don't play right. You know I don't play right. Don't give me this. I'm gonna get back when I feel like. Don't give me this. You know I don't play right. I'll put up a good fight. Just give me the word, You know I don't play right. You know I don't play right. Don't give me this. I'm gonna get back when I feel like. You know I don't play right. Just give me the word, You know I don't play right. Don't give me this. I'm gonna get back when I feel like. You know I don't play right. Just give me the word, You know I don't play right. Don't give me this. I'm gonna get back when I feel like. You know I don't play right. I'll put up a good fight. Just give me the word, You know I don't play right. You know I don't play right. Don't give me this. I'm gonna get back when I feel like. Don't give me this. You know I don't play right. I'll put up a good fight. Just give me the word, You know I don't play right. You know I don't play right. Don't give me this. I'm gonna get back when I feel like. You know I don't play right. Just give me the word, You know I don't play right. Don't give me this. I'm gonna get back.
Welcome to LXC.
Lights flashing bright, players take the stage.
For you, the ult eventually ends, and end it will. Here comes Jinx right in your face. Hoodie Man, not even gonna die. Jinx is excited. MFO's not gonna be good enough at this stage. Maybe if that MF had 5 or 10 kills. Now Lumu's coming in. No ult, sure. Doesn't really matter. The CC is enough. Zeri tries to do something. Be some kind of threat. But all of it's just on the back line. Not even gonna go down to MF. Will get the quadra kill. They're not gonna quite commit for the Penta surely, but Vanity is popping off once again.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm being a little too harsh, but it's not like Cody Man's bad or anything. It's just like, you tried your gimmick, it was cute. Congratulations for getting on stream, great job, thumbs up, play a real jungler.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I feel like that's a Doki jungler. You'd see. You should definitely see Doki picking up that the Nautilus jungle at some point and taking Ignite and not Flash.
Look, I'm all for letting people cook, so if they want to continue with it, that's fine. I'm just saying that from this vantage point, there are other junglers that could do the same thing but better. So, that's what I would want to see change from the winning side. So, is CCMU now going on to the support? Doesn't even matter. Oh, Jizzle does kind of time out, however. I don't know if this fight is going to go the way of TD Royal. They're actually kind of running away now. Hoodie Man is doing some kind of CC. Jinx is everything right now. If Jinx lives, they win the game. If they don't, they could see the game extended. But Funny Man is just fighting on the steps of the front, dodges everything. Funny Man is popping off right now. It doesn't even matter if Raven enters up, because Funny Man will just pop off and get a pentakill. And also,
Every player counts. Show 'em we care.
welcome to Arbiter Week 6 for LXC. Today we're going to be watching Avalanche versus Royal. Immediately, where we're pivoting to. I'm Scarlett, and I'm here with Pradles again. Same as last week, funnily enough. And we're probably going to get into the draft pretty soon, but just talking about the stakes of this game really quick. Avalanche has already secured into playoffs with their strong first place showing, and Royal is right on the cusp. So Avalanche winning this obviously would help their position into playoffs, but Royal really needs to get every win they can to make sure that they can stay in top 4, because right now they are literally 4th place, and we take the top 4 to playoffs, and they're there by a tiebreaker. Trash Panda, who's going to be playing off stream a little bit later, are exactly the same score. Just a slight tiebreaker keeps them in 4th.
And it looks like draft is starting, and first ban Viego coming out pretty quick out of Avalanche.
Yeah, I expect it. Diego's pretty good. I have to admit, I was not able to look into these players because we switched immediately, but I'll try to do my best research on the fly as we can, as you do. Let's see. So, again,
all I know,
the schedule is 2 more weeks until playoffs, by the way, because this is week 7, week 6, there's week 7, and then week 8 would potentially be tiebreakers. So these teams do not have long to ensure their spot. Although, again, Avalanche sitting pretty in first place, locked in, even if they lose the next 2 weeks. But let's talk about the draft.
Yeah, well, they're going through the bands pretty quickly. See a couple of
that is
jungle
a
bands
bunch of jungle bands.
Yeah, that is a lot of jungle bands.
I've seen him move a little bit more in support lately, but other than that, I mean, I guess Mordecai's are also top lane, and Acel's obviously not a jungler, but wow. A lot of CC bans as well, so I'm kind of curious what that means for us. Set is the first blind pick champion. I don't think I've seen a set for Blue 1 in a while.
Yeah, that's definitely an odd one. You gotta imagine the JFK's probably got a counter pick for it, but see, it looks like Royal's just picking up the Ash here, and I'm curious to see what they pair with that.
Yeah. That is definitely a blind pick. I am used to seeing Karma is kind of nice with it. Probably not the best support to pair with it, but, you know, not the worst either. And makes it pretty safe. And you haven't answered that set yet, but you haven't given Avalanche a lot of places to counterpick either. That it might take this moment to take a Smolder, which would be really interesting. Usually, Smolder is not flex. I don't think it is going to be here, although it could be flex mid. At the same time, picking it into Ash Karma is kind of where you want to be a Smolder, kind of. I don't know. I haven't played into Ash Karma in so long, but Smolder feels good into those champions.
It's a bully lane. Smolder's gonna have a rough time in lane, honestly.
I mean, having that flex opportunity open though is kind of nice for him because it does mean that maybe it's not so bad, and it makes their bans really awkward for Royal. Now, this Maokai is another flex, but in completely different roles. Like every role that Smolder isn't, basically.
Much.
Top lane kind of taken away from him, but he could be jungle or support. And then the Ornn lock-in means that we've got basically matched roles for second bans, except there could be a Smolder mid. Royal doesn't believe it, though. They ban Yone, and that means they believe that the Smolder is going bot lane.
Yeah. I mean, based off of just how the draft is going so far, I imagine that'll be a Maokai support. Generally want to pick the 80 carry and support at the same time, but you're right, it could be flexed into the jungle. And looks like that is a Lucian mid ban out on OSG's side against TD Royal. So not going to be seeing a Lucian mid, darn, but so many of these 80 carries in the lane that we're seeing so far. And
yeah. Seraphine ban is also interesting because there's so many flexes, so it's hard to tell where to ban at all. I mean, banning 80 carries would feel awkward too with a Smolder showing. But yeah. I don't know, it's just... What do you even pick here for Royal after this next ban comes out?
I mean, they're going to probably pick their jungler here, leave their counter pick for mid lane. That's what I imagine. But I don't know. Could be an orange jungle.
You've got so much engage right now. Not as much damage, although Ash has ticked up, like, okay. Ash's damage hasn't gone up. The other 80 carries damage have gone down, but, you know, it's effectively the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jungler is kind of interesting here. You've got such a good engage and such good CC. What do you want to do to punish that or to like really capitalize on that? But then on the other hand, you've got Maokai and Set who are pretty good into those things. I guess Fiddlesticks is probably the best answer possible for your first 3 champions. Are those what goes best with that? Absolutely, Fiddlesticks. That's not real.
No, I doubt
That's
that's a
not
Yumi
that's not a
pick, but
cat.
it could be. It could be a Yumi. It
No,
could be a
no,
cat.
that's not a cat. That's not a cat. No, 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 I don't believe it. Everyone, Soulkeeper, don't be quiet. Yumi's not real. I mean,
Yumi
it is
just doesn't
possible.
exist in draft.
Well, it's
They
locked
locked it
in.
in. They locked it in.
Wow. So, Yumi is kind of interesting because it locks your Maokai into the jungle, and it does go. I mean, I feel like Yumi's been out of the meta long enough that it never went with Smolder before. RA
Mhm.
blind is absolutely what you want to see whenever you're blind picking it, but that means you are playing Smolder Yumi into Ash Karma, and like I felt okay playing Smolder into those two before if I had a really good support to back me up. Yumi is not that support in my opinion, just not
No,
that cat.
I agree. That's going to be a really rough lane for the Smolder Yumi, but we shall see if Smolder is able to scale, get to those 225 stacks. He will be
That's the
able to
other
blow up a
thing.
lot of the team from the side of TD
That's
Royal.
the other thing.
So,
If you're Avalanche and you just think your bot lane's better, screw it. Ash Karma, they can't really, kill you until a jungle. I mean, they can. But maybe if you're just better, we'll get confirmation on what that last pick is. Oh, it is Corky. Okay. They can't kill you. Maybe if you're better, and then you just outscale and absolutely dominate Ash Karma late game with Smolder Yumi. But getting to there is going to be tough.
yeah.
The Corky Orange. I mean, gosh, the scaling on both these teams is off the charts. Like Smolder is like, the once he came out, it was essentially the clock hits 27 minutes, your Nexus explodes. It's not the
Pretty much,
case
yeah.
anymore. Not the case anymore, but you put a Yumi on him, maybe it is. And then
Maybe.
Royal's
Well,
got this Orin Fiddlesticks Corky comp. I know Corky doesn't quite fit as much late game as he used to be. He's more of an early game bully, but he just always reminds me of the late game, especially with something like Fiddlesticks, who wants to be in those team fights. So both teams like have pressure early and pressure late. I don't know. I mean, like, if you're the jungler here, right? You're Maokai or you're Fiddlesticks. What is your game plan here?
so
What
you
lanes
play
are we
around
going
bot side.
to?
Well,
I
Fiddlesticks wants to
guess.
power farm till 6, but you play around bot side from
Exactly.
both sides, really.
Right. Like, is Fiddlesticks really going to counter gank Maokai early? Is Maokai really going to gank for his Yumi lane early? It just feels like we've got a scramble of 10 champions that will be very interesting to see how the players take it. Because if I'm looking at this draft and I'm telling the jungle where to go, I mean, I've got some basic ideas like, yeah, spot lane is definitely where all the explosions are. But what's the general feel of how we're going to get these dragons and early game stuff and who's going to power farm? I don't know.
I mean, I think
It's so
TD Royal
interesting.
has the stronger bot lane early for sure. They should have prio, so I imagine TD Royal should be looking around to play around that bot lane, try to get those early Drakes and get that early Drake scaling. But I feel like Maokai also has to kind of play around bot side because the Smolder Yumi, you don't want them just getting completely stomped in lane either. You want Smolder to be able to safely farm and safely scale. So I think top lane's going to be really more of an island. Let Set and Orange just slap each other with wet noodles. And
Yeah.
mid lane, I'm not sure because Ari is a very strong champion right now, and Corky's not nearly as strong. If Ari lands that charm, we might be seeing some solo kills coming out of the mid lane.
Definitely possible, but you have to remember that we did pick the Corky into the RA, so I assume they have some sort of plan for it. Uh, you know, I wasn't expecting Fiddlesticks to really counter gank bot lane, but sometimes he can do some weird things mid lane with just the angle, the fear, the short lane, and how much damage Corky brings. So I do think that Avalanche's mid laner M8 has to be a little cautious, because again, they did pick this Corky into you. Maybe they
Yeah.
pick Corky for the team comp, not the lane, but I don't think it's going to be a slam dunk easy lane either.
No. But we'll have to see. I think the Fiddlesticks is, like I said, more of a power farming jungler. And Maokai, I do believe, has the better gank early. So maybe we'll
Yes.
see Maokai putting more focus into that bot lane or maybe even mid lane. You get that root onto the Corki, that's an easy RNG. And Corki will die. So we'll have
Okay,
to
what if
see.
you?
Maybe he just focused on snowballing the Ari.
I don't know. It's just so funny. I was just thinking, what if you switch the junglers on these teams, and it actually makes a lot of sense too. But I don't know. We're gonna have to see how the early pathing goes. We're gonna see how many camps get taken early. I imagine both junglers are gonna be full clearing because I don't. I mean, are you level 3 ganking a Yumi? And you're Yumi? You Smolder? Smolder used to be known as a lane bully. I don't think it's the case anymore into something like Ash Karma. But all of
Definitely
those
not.
answers will be revealed after our quick spectator delay break. And then we'll be getting into game 1 of Avalanche versus Royal.
All right. See you soon.
Back when I feel like.
This a sound clash thing, we not come to play. The rhythm and me style ram thing, pumping up the bass. The rise can't cool, make the fire blaze. Pull up my selector, hold tight, we mash up the place. Pull up my selector, hold tight, we mash up the place. Pull up my selector, hold tight, we mash up the place. Pull up my selector, hold tight, we mash up the place. Pull up my selector, hold tight, we mash up the place. Pull up my selector, hold tight, we mash up the place. This a sound clash thing, we not come to play. The rhythm and me style ram thing, pumping up the bass. The rise can't cool, make the
welcome to the Rift of Game 1. And I was just looking up some stats while we were gone. Yumi has been picked once. And
Oh,
been 4
okay.
times in Arbiter. Which is kind of interesting.
That is.
Sorry, I hope level 1 doesn't get too confusing. I'm looking at another screen right now. Looks like it did okay. I can't tell if it won or not from here because I'm bad at reading these stats. I don't think it did. It didn't do amazing. But it's been banned 4 times more than it's been played, which is kind of funny to me.
Yeah, that is kind of funny. I'll see it once, banned 4 times, but obviously somebody thinks
This'll
Yumi's OP
be-
if it's getting banned.
Yeah, and this will be the second, or it'll double amount of time played, but it's on a dragon this time, which is exciting. I don't know which exact game it was. I'd have to do some more research to figure out if it was on a dragon last time. But I think I can confidently say that this is likely the first time a cat has ever been on a dragon in LXC, because these champions have not been good together before. Not to say that
Generally
they don't
not.
work together. Like, enchanters are fine on Smolder, but rather the time where Yumi was good was before Smolder came out, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Like, those do not overlap.
Yeah, I think
So-
you're right. I'm pretty sure the time when Yumi was good was when Yumi was released. Because that's how all new champions are.
No, there was a time after that, whenever they first nerfed her, and then they decided Yumi shouldn't exist anymore. But here we are, in defiance.
I've heard a
Tycerion
few-
has said Yumi shall exist.
I've heard a few support players tell me that they hated the Yumi rework, where they made it so you
Yeah.
can't
Oh, absolutely.
can't curve the Q around anymore.
I
Well, you
played
can, but it goes in a
support
straight
at that
line.
time. I played support at that time. I did not like it. Oh, look at that Yumi dodging the Q by not existing. Classic, but the all-in's still pretty good. Zarya's
Yeah.
has to walk away, and this is what you kind of have to worry about whenever you pick Smolder Yumi. Like,
Yeah.
you are not a laner. You're just kind of hoping they let you farm at all. And Maokai's already down here. I don't think he's going to do a level 3 gank. And if he
doubt
doesn't,
it,
then
but-
he's just completely ignoring this lane and letting it rot forever. Oh, it looks like he's pathing towards it, actually. I lied.
We'll see. He could use his
The
smite.
Cypher getting kind of
Smolder's still not
aggressive.
two. Smolder is 2. He's taking a lot of poke.
Maokai's behind, which is really nice, but look at this cannon. This cannon's just gonna hurt so much. The Cypher flashing out, gets exhausted. First one goes to Yumi! Of all people! Now the cannon's way too far away to help, so Ash also has to flash away. Still has barrier, though. So I think Alchemist can waste a lot of Maokai's time. Look at that health bar! So even though they do get first blood, it goes to the cat, first of all. And second of all, this lane position isn't even that bad for Alchemist. He's just getting solo XP.
Yeah, it is rough that they only get the support there, and that the cat gets the kill. Definitely not what you
Right.
want to see. You want to get that. You want to get that smolder. You want to get your dragon with the kills, personally. But cat can do it. The cat can do something with those kills, I'm sure. But yeah, definitely a very exciting. You were expecting that level 3 gank, but it definitely came out. Maokai does have those strong ganks with his root.
Right, and you know, there is something to be said, like, Smolder doesn't need gold, that 300 gold, he just needs to survive, and taking away some pressure is nice. I'm not sure if it's enough, because look at the deficit of farm right now. Maokai is going straight from blue to crab, gonna skip so many blue? Okay, so I'm only looking at the minimap, but that blue buff says it's still up. I don't know if that's a spectator bug. It has
No,
to be, because he has 60...
Yeah, it's
Wait,
still up.
no.
He doesn't have blue
No,
buff.
it's still
Blue
up.
buff's still
Okay,
up.
JFK is getting all in right now with Maokai on the way. Maokai gave up so much for this, and all it is JFK walks away. Wait, he's
Yeah.
giving up more. He's giving
Still
up even more for his laners. Even more than you could thought possible. But Maokai's one of those champions that can kind of do this, so maybe it's okay. Just no one count how many seconds this blue buff is going to live at level 1.
We're already 4 minutes into the game. Just ignore that. Ignore that. Let's see how the
And
smolder
Valkyr gets the
doing.
first and one of 2 camps that are going to respawn for Maokai. So Maokai right now is sitting on 3 camps right there that are level 1. He's not going to have minor camps on the bot side because Valkyr's going to get them both. Wait, no,
Valkyr
no.
looking for a gank.
With the gank right here, I got a little bit confused by the ward. He did get the Raptors, not going to go for the Krubs, or the Golems. Just
That charm
prevent
feels
some
bad.
damage on Husky. Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Man.
Smolder's at 21 stacks, so it's not bad. Almost at that 25 where he's going to get the AoE, going to make it a lot easier to push this lane out, get a little bit of trade damage onto that Ashe Karma, but it's like he's looking for a back here?
Here's the question. How
Oh,
much
well-
gold would you trade from your jungle Maokai to your Smolder? Because right now you've done the biggest influx trade of history. Your Maokai, useless for the next 20 minutes. Smolder, getting a ton of gold, more than he would have if that play had not happened.
Yeah, I mean,
I still
Smolder.
feel really bad for Novocaine.
I mean, accelerating the Smolder is always good. You want your Smolder to be able to farm safely, to be able to get to that 225 stacks where he actually becomes a champion. And you do have a Yumi on him, which means Yumi Smolder will be very strong in the late game, but they just have to survive until then, which, again, that Maokai gank does help them survive a lot. I mean, Smolder hasn't had to back. It relieved a lot of lane pressure. Smolder should be at 25 stacks now. Let me double check. Yeah, 27. So, like I said, he's made it kind of past that first.
Oh, this gank is
bump.
pretty good, I think. Looks like the slow is good, but Novocaine does not have flash. There's an Ari here too, though. The charm is good. They get the barrier. That should be a kill, and it actually goes to the Smolder this time. And if the ganks still work, it doesn't really matter if your Maokai has taken no level 2 camps.
Yep, definitely. So yeah, they're definitely accelerating the Smolder, helping him farm. So I'd say it's worth it, but it's not the easiest trade to say. And top lane, they're whacking each other with wet noodles. JFK getting a little bit low, but I always say Ornn does a surprisingly large amount of damage for a full tank.
Yeah. Now, the pressure is really on Valkyr here because you've been gifted a situation that does not often come up. This Maokai is seriously behind on tempo. In return, your bot lane's kind of on fire in a lane that, oh wait, JFK might just get soloed here. The suppression into the ultimate. Trainer just gets a solo kill. I'm talking about other random things. Maybe the Maokai pressure is just good.
Yeah. I mean, putting on the good amount of pressure. He spent that time top lane. I say that time top lane that he spent there is what led to that solo kill. May not have led to an assist, but I say yeah. I'm gonna say that was worth it for him in that stage of the game.
Yeah, so the real pressure is for Valkyr to do a lot with this level 6 timer. The pressure right now, however, is on trainer gain, because JFK's coming back in hot. We'll just get lane priority, nothing else. There is a Fiddlesticks very much behind. Oh wait, no, that's not real. Sorry. I need to read the minimap better. Sorry, I've not casted a Fiddlesticks much before. That Fiddlesticks is standing still for a very weird reason. I didn't know I did that for the minimap for the spectators. My bad. Regardless, this level 6 is so important for Valkyr because there's a timing where he's got level 6 and Novocaine doesn't. If that closes without anything being done, then Novocaine's very happy to have spent so much time putting effort into the Smolder. Here comes the arrow, though. Here comes the Fiddlesticks ult. It's a little far. Flash doesn't even make it. That the root does, however. Silence and Fling, but I think Xavier just gets to get away, especially since Maokai hit 6 while this is happening because of how long the gank took to set up. Now Ari's even here, so it's going to be a total party. Xavier's going to get another one, and I believe Matrix will go down, which is pretty big for mid lane. Corki gets a lot of free time, but Xavier's just gets this lane not only for free, is gifted some kills as well.
Yeah, and now you have a Smolder that's 2-0. He has a Sheen, which is interesting to me. Normally you want to rush that Essence Reaver that doesn't build out of Sheen anymore. But I think the build nowadays that I've been seeing, you go like Essence Reaver into Triforce, so I guess that's why you get the Sheen early, get that extra procs just like you wanted on Ezreal, but I personally prefer the Essence Reaver into Spirit Shojin, but that's just me personally.
So, just to do the math, Valkyr got level 6 quite a bit before Maokai did because of the level 1 camps fiasco, and what he did with it was sat behind a wall, waiting to gank, and he took so long on that gank and was not able to even get the fear off with the passive that Novocaine was just able to get 6 and then walk all the way down here and come in with his own ult.
Yep. So, they did trade 1 for 1 at the end of that one, so it is a first kill over to the side of TD Royal. And yeah, well, like I said, Ornn does quite a bit of damage, but so does Set.
Yeah,
especially with that
definitely
Tiamat.
duking it out as solo laners do in the top side. But
Listen,
yeah, the
Mhm.
Smolder is just doing great. If you could get this start where Maokai's down 20 CS, but Smolder's doing great. You take it every time, 100% of the time. Yep, I pick Smolder, Yumi, if this is how my lane phase is going to go. Xavier's taking a little aggression here. The ultimate's up, not quite tracking that cooldown. Should go down here. Meanwhile, top lane, Ari's over here instead of playing around bot lane, but Set has to run away. Can Ari get onto Valkyr? Does so now. The knockup's good, though. Gets the Set flash out to get the kill. Finally on Valkyr, the charm's also good. Orange should go down. And Ari Rome ends up for a 2 for 2, or 2 for 0. Husky also has the WA, but he's still going to be trapped. Novocaine can certainly tank the damage for a long time. I think Corki's dead here, too. Charm is good. And Husky doesn't even bother flashing. And suddenly, they can't just play. They don't just have to play around the Smolder. They can go topside and get 3 kills for 0.
Yeah, suddenly they have a 4-0 set. And who's already gotten 2 tower plates top 2, so this is feeling a little bit rough on the side of TD Poro, or TD Royal, not Poro. So, still not as
Yeah.
bad as the one last week where it was Poro versus Royal, both TD.
I think JFK can do a lot of things with Ornn. You know, bail out a lot of late games. I'm not sure if this is one of them. You're against Smolder Yumi, and he's super
Yeah,
fat.
that is a really fed Smolder at this point, and it's interesting too to look back. Smolder's actually rushing the Triforce instead of the Essence Reaper, so you're not going to have that extra mana sustain that you would get from that early Essence Reaper. So we'll have to watch that, see if it makes it a little bit harder for him to farm. Maybe he'll be going at Boom a little bit faster in this lane.
Oh, JFK's wave state is so hard for him right now. His wave is pushing away from him, and he just had to flush away from Set. Set does not want to take that advantage and just take away the CS. He's going to put the pressure on so that way Maokai can even go for the grubs, which is pretty good, but it does leave open the possibility of this first dragon, depending on how Valkyr wants to answer.
Did they get
Looks
the
like
first
Valkyr
set
wants
of
to answer
grubs?
bot lane again.
No, they didn't. TD actually got the first set of grubs. But yeah,
Okay,
oh,
arrows
Asphalt
too
goes
wide. You can't do this without Ash Arrow, so I think they're gonna have to back up just for Dragon, and it may be too late because Maokai can certainly come in late and still be useful. It looks like they're gonna go for it now. I don't know, I can't tell with... Wait, actually JFK's just dead, I think! While all this is happening, 4-0
No.
set is gonna do 4-0 set things. He's playing a weak side, unfortunately, and dies, which means the tower is also under pressure.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I imagine it's gonna be first tower going over to the side of Avalanche within probably a minute or two, maybe a wave
Yeah.
or two actually. Let's see within
And
the next
it looks
30
like they're
seconds.
committing a lot more up there just to ensure that they get that tower, which will mean the first dragon goes over to Royal, which I think is like honestly the best that they can get. They should be very happy that. Oh wait, they haven't even started it. That was a fake Fiddlesticks I was baited by. So they are not going to be able to get this for free because Smolder's
Yeah,
pretty strong.
he's only 2-1, but he has only 69 stacks actually. But yeah, Smolder is strong right now. He doesn't quite have that Trinity Force done, so it's not like that first item power spike that you will see before these first strikes. But yeah, you got a 2-1
Right, this will be
Smolder.
the second Fiddlesticks ult potentially if they go for it. Maokai ult's there, but the Ari finds the Fiddle before the ult can come out, and now the Cypher's just in so much trouble. Flashes out. I think there's too many things over the wall. Valkyr does get the ultimate finally, but he's alone. The exhaust on Alchemist means they can't even kill anyone over there. Finally, the Cypher will go down. Husky is in so much trouble. There's no damage coming out. There's the charm for the kill, and Valkyr just doesn't have any cooldowns. Like, he's not very useful without his ultimate. Alchemist is too low on mana to join. JFK gets canceled on his own ultimate despite teleporting in. So even though they teleported the top lane, this fight is just so hard. Valkyris can do so much on the top side of the fight. Diving under a tower, potentially, not even caring about the barrier. JFK does get a kill because Darius went so deep onto this. But JFK should fall in. Set is still getting so much free time on the top side. Now Ash is not going to be able to do anything with Yumi there. Cattle on the Dragon moment. So they do eventually teleport top lane with Husky, but now they haven't gotten the dragon. They lost a lot top lane, and they barely traded even, if at all, on the bot side of the fight.
Yeah, they got 2 more kills onto that
Wait,
Smolder.
Karma. Does it just short?
was
I'm
close.
sorry.
Getting juked out there by the players, really. Did Karma? Yeah, Karma did have vision of that, so she knew
Yes,
they were
that's why
backing
she
in
went
that
first so
push.
far. And I get it, Decipher. You have a very tight window there. If you went to ensure that he hit the RQ, I believe that the recall would have finished anyways, so you might as well throw it out there. It's not like your R's a long cooldown.
Yeah,
This means Sid could just do Herald and Dragon's still up. No one's taking this Dragon. And one of your best ways to stop a Smolder from getting to 250 stacks is making sure that you have Soul first. I don't even think they're going to get the first Dragon, but even if they did, it would be at like 16 or 17 minutes. Soul's not spawning for quite a while.
yeah. And let's see, where's Smolder at? 82 stacks? Not bad. Probably got a good 10 to 15 stacks in that fight. So, you're going to be feeling really good if you're Smolder right now. And that Rift Herald, the set just soloing Rift Herald in the top side. Knowing that JFK burned his TP and ult bot lane, so nothing really to stop Trainer from doing just whatever he wants at this point in the top side of the map.
I'm just
Already
not
charmed alive.
there.
Wide. A little bit of an
Yeah,
ambitious
so-
charge.
Where do you even play around if you're Royal right now? You've got to play around this Valkyrie ult. I guess you followed up with CC. The best way to do that is probably with Ashe. But now you're
Yeah.
trying to aim at a dragon with a cat on a dragon.
I mean, at this point,
Uh,
on the side of TD Royal, they're looking for the picks. You got the Ashe ulti, you have the Fiddlesticks ulti, you have to look to combo those two ultis together to just get picks at this point. That's really all you can hope for. Smolder doesn't have cleanse, and Ashe Arrow goes wide, but Smolder doesn't have cleanse, so if that Ashe Arrow
Oh,
does
man.
hit, it can be a lot of potential.
JFK is fighting like this 2-level gap does not exist. You cannot be in this lane, JFK. You are
Yeah.
lucky to be able to be anywhere near your tower. Meanwhile, this fight down here looks pretty good. Valkyrie's not gonna be able to set up an ultimate if you just kill him like that. And they're
Yeah.
almost using the dragon as bait. Like, hey, we're not taking the dragon. You can come down here at any time. But they couldn't.
JFK?
JFK is also just dead. So
Oh.
both sides of the map are just completely on fire. We're gonna get the first dragon for Smolder, and TD Royal needs to figure out some kind of insane Fiddlesticks ult multiple times in a row to get back in this game.
Yes, 100%. And that's another 700 gold going over to the top laner of OSG Avalanche. So, gonna feel a little bit bad on the side of TD Royal. Like, you do have the scaling a little bit. You have the Ornn. Those ornaments are gonna come in handy.
Okay, ornaments
but the other
versus
side-
Elder Dragon.
Elder Dragon.
With,
I'm gonna
with
go
Yumi,
Elder
with a
Dragon.
cat. Elder
With
Dragon
a
with a cat.
Ornn versus Cat on the Dragon. So, I take the Cat on the Dragon in the late game, I think. But that's just me.
I mean, we're close to Smolder catching up in levels to JFK. That's how dire the situation is right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
no.
The mini wave looks so tasty. At this point, arguably JFK isn't worth that much gold, so we can take risks like this. It doesn't even
Oh,
cost
he got-
him that
no,
much because.
He got a kill in that last fight bot lane. He was 300 gold
dear.
the last
wait,
time
this
Smith
is
killed him.
pretty good. This could be a huge shutdown, and if it goes to the right place, could help a lot. But JFK just dies to the W, and Valkyrie has no follow-up damage. Oh my god.
That's a feels bad moment right there. You commit so much onto that set, but he's just so tanky. And that W, you get hit by the true damage in the sweet spot, it does you. I think
don't
JFK
think
died from about half health there.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen an Ornn die so quickly from that.
I mean, all he has is the Hollow Radiance, really, and a Bramble. Like, you're laning against Set and you rush Hollow Radiance. That's, it's kind of a feels bad moment there. I get it, like, you're against an Ahri. That's it, kinda, actually. I don't get it. I think Radiance is a little bit troll, but that's just me.
This is usually the moment where you send your mid laner to deal with the set. I'm not sure that Husky can even play safe under this inhibitor tower.
Yeah, Set's got two items on the Stride Breaker and Hole Breaker? Yeah, Stride Breaker, Hole Breaker. Both are breakers. That confused me for a second. Like, is that the name of the items? It feels not right, but yeah. Stride Breaker and Hole Breaker, so Set's gonna be really strong in these 1v1s. And looks like Trainer is looking for a play mid lane. Probably just gonna go for that tower. He takes it super fast.
I mean, Trainer just has total control of whatever he wants. He could probably just start taking the enemy jungle. It doesn't really matter. He's just so strong. It looks like he's going to use his influence to get JFK. JFK sacrificing himself for this tower is a beautiful attempt. I mean, you get a lot of gold for the rest of your team. You get some XP. It's not like you're going to miss out on minions. Good W. Last minion dies, so this tower actually takes so much more damage. He does get it! Worth! And now mid lane's kind of caught out, actually. Xavius has to flash out. Decipher's the only one on him, so he should be fine. The heal is good. Alchemist just doesn't do enough damage yet, I think. But the Valkyrie ult is good. That's an amazing shutdown. If they get it, you get it. Yumi has nowhere to go. Finally gets onto the Maokai. And you're going to have to sacrifice your Fiddlesticks. But you're more than happy to sacrifice your Fiddlesticks and your Ornn and your entire house for that tower and that shutdown on Zarius.
Yeah, that was a really good shutdown, and they got it on the right place. They got it onto the Wolven Alchemist. So your 80 carry, getting that shutdown on the Smolder. It's very good, very huge, but is it going to be enough? Because Smolder, I noticed in that fight, did hit 125 stacks. I was seeing the missiles behind his Q. So 20 minutes, not a terrible time. You kind of want your Smolder to be a little more stacks at this point, because at this point, you're probably going to be about 30 minutes into the game. He'll be hitting 225 probably.
Okay, but this game is absolutely lasting till 30 minutes in the game. Unless they are the ones that win it. I mean, I see no avenue where Royal's just going to suddenly turn the game up, get some towers, win the game. They certainly don't have a chance of getting soul before 30 minutes.
Definitely not.
Zarius, has some time to get some stacks. He can take his time with it for sure.
Yeah, let's see where he's at. He is at 135. Okay, yeah. He's definitely got time in this game, especially with his own team having a 6,000 gold lead right now. So,
And
feels nice.
every
Feels
dragon
nice to
so
be a
far is
smolder.
theirs.
Yeah, all one. Every one
Yeah,
dragon.
But the thing is, it's all one dragons at 20 minutes. It's very rare for the situation to be that second
is.
dragon is just now spawning.
To be
and
fair,
usually on this.
to be fair, Avalanche does have 2 dragons because they got a cat on one of them.
Oh, true, also true. But the point is, as a smolder team, you're not usually counting your dragons towards soul. You're counting the enemy team's dragons towards soul until you got to come back into the game and claw your way in with your amazing late game champion. They've got the only dragon on the board.
And they have their amazing late game champion 5-2.
Yeah. Smolder is in a pretty good spot right now, and now they're gonna possibly find Husky, who has to find a way to W out, does so without getting charmed. Matrix did not want to commit the flash there, so Husky will be safe for now. Now Trainer does not get arrowed, but there are a million people up here for him. The counter's just gonna be a Cloud Drake, so it's okay. Trainer absolutely will get that. What is he doing with him? The damage is just insane. He's not even going down yet. JFK finally coming in. Who they giving it to Ash. They lose a dragon for it. They were going to lose a dragon anyway, so it's a good play. But wow, what a heart attack of multiple of your champions going low in a 4v1.
Yeah, that set W. Set W does a little bit of damage. Especially when you get to that golden, I don't even know, golden something. He goes golden, I know that. Not Zonia's, but he does go golden. Can you tell I'm not a set player?
Well, I can tell the Trainer gain absolutely is.
Yeah, definitely. And this was the first pick set. You gotta remember that, too. OSG Avalanche decided, hey, they left set open, we're first picking it. And right now it's 8-1. Taking massive amounts of pressure from the side of TD Royal. They had to send 4 people up there just to kill him.
This is not a fight that you want. Karma wants to face check for the blue buff. That's not your buff. Decipher will go down. And Novocaine can commit as much as he wants. Matrix can commit as much as he wants. Husky has to flash out.
Yeah. I think Cypher also flashed in that too, and still died for it. Feels a little bit bad.
Unfortunately, at this point in the game, those jungle camps are not yours. You cannot face check that. You cannot walk past any of those dark spaces on the map.
Oh, Corky, maybe? No. I was gonna say maybe Corky's gonna face check the 3 people that are backing in that brush, but does not look like it. He's just gonna get his own back in. And it seems like things might have calmed down for the moment. We are 23 minutes into the game with 22 kills, almost a kill per minute.
Every
Just what you
Chemtech
like to see out of Arbiter.
Every Chemtech dragon that goes to Avalanche is just a dagger for the all CC pick comp.
Yeah.
It is a little unfortunate that every dragon just is the perfect stats to deal with Ash and Fiddlesticks.
Especially since you have the Yumi on the enemy team.
Yep.
Like, that Yumi, if they get Chemtech Soul, that Yumi's healing and shielding is just going to do so much for that Smolder. And Smolder check, stack check. Spectator Client went away. 155. Not too bad. He's getting there.
Okay.
Only needs 70 more stacks.
Yeah, now, they could just also Baron at any time. This is the sad part. Fiddlesticks ult is pretty good into Baron, so it's not the safest. But if they just felt like it, they could. There's nothing wrong with it. It's like, you know, you probably are giving up 10 percentage points, but that means you're going from 100% to win this game to 90. It's fine. Arrow comes out. No follow-up, though, because Fiddlesticks just isn't there.
Yeah,
And,
it was a little
this is
of an ambitious
scary.
arrow. I can see what you're going for. You see the Smolder is slightly out of position, but you don't have anyone on your team in a position to follow up on that Smolder, so a little bit of an ambitious arrow.
JFK has reached his first ornament. The more these go out, the more even the game is supposed to be, kinda. I mean, the gold deficit will remain the same. The dragons will be annoying, but then there's Smolder. And JFK may not even be able to get level 14 because Matrix is going to match pretty well. And at any point, if someone wants to walk over like this Maokai is, that is probably a kill. They are looking to 2v1 right now. Matrix is probably going to live, and in that case, I don't see how JFK lives. The Ornn ult is good, might be able to burst Matrix a little bit more, but there's still 2 ult charges, and he can just get out. and only coming back in for the kill. JFK will take a while to die. That's
Yeah.
definitely true.
But
But
TD
you know,
Royal should just be looking
what,
for
they're
Baron
just
here.
saving them for the Q set. Okay, they don't quite get the Smolder stacks off the Q, but Smolder does get an assist. And the sad part is, you see all the members of TD Royal trying to do a Baron off that play because they did commit 4 members for 10 years. I don't even know if they can. They do look to do it now. It's a little too late now. I think it was too late whenever it started, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
That disconnection was really awkwardly timed because he was about to go face check the important objective that they needed to know about. At the same time, I don't even think it matters as long as he comes back now. He can go, hey, they are actually doing this, Baron. Look at them and laugh because we're just gonna come up and kill them all.
Uh-huh. And you got to imagine Set could probably kill all 4 of them right now. Like, look how tanky he is. Like, look how tanky Trainer Gain is. The only way that I can see him not is if that Fiddlesticks gets his solo ulti on him.
Yeah. We're about to find out. We're going to have a dramatic pause here in a second, and then we'll see. They're not even committing the team. They are planning on just having Set 1v4 right now. This is kind of an absurd play that you
He's
can only
going
do
in.
whenever you're this far ahead. It is working, though. I think Set is getting knocked up. The W damage is what you have to look for. He doesn't even get it because of the fear. They are trading this inhibitor for Baron, which is not the smartest thing to do whenever you're, I mean, this far ahead. But, you know, it's going to work. Right? You can give up Baron at this point and still probably be fine. They don't even have to give it up, though, because the Baron did reset during all that. And Royal is not comfortable with that trade. They're not willing to lose this inhibitor for the Baron. So the recalls are coming out, and they're going to lose the inhibitor anyways, I believe.
Yeah. I guess the important
Okay,
part
well,
of what
defends
Trainer
it.
did there is that Trainer was able to stop them from taking the Baron off of that. And you got 173 stacks on Smolder. This game might end on the Smolder side before Smolder gets to 225 stacks. It's entirely
it's always-
possible.
I couldn't get my stacks on Smolder. The game ended too early. Sorry to hear about your loss. Oh no, we crushed it.
Yeah, right? I never got to the
This will
225 stacks. It was a shame. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, my team destroyed them, so...
And this will be the 3rd dragon going over. So the clock is ticking on multiple fronts. You've got the inhib down, meaning your base is ticking. You've got the set that is unanswerable, which is another thing you have to answer. The smaller stacks you have to answer. And then you've got the soul, which is spawning in 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's definitely a rough position to be in on the side of TD Royal right now. Avalanche just looks like they are in complete control of this game, getting everything they want. They got that top bot inhib, and Royal didn't even get the the Baron for the trade like they wanted. Feels really bad.
Well, the only avenue they have forward is Asher or Fiddlesticks ult. I just don't even know if they can kill with it. Like, Barrier, Yumi for Smolder means he's unkillable. Ari just R's out after the CC's done. Set is you can't kill that guy.
Yeah,
and then
honestly.
Maokai, I guess maybe you could kill Maokai, but then you're stuck in a fight where you will all die.
Just say, Set did die in that 4v1 for Baron. So
True.
it's possible. Set is not invincible. However, they had to commit, I think, 3 ultimates for it.
3 ultimates, the entire team, so they lost the inhibitor, and now they're losing their Fiddlesticks flash, which is so important. They're losing their Fiddlesticks life as well! The fear barely saves them for now, but the root means he will go nowhere. Even Decipher's rooted up, so he will also fall right in front of the Baron. While the inhib's down, even M-Matrix going for the flash on Alchemist. Might not be able to finish this off, though, so it's a bit of an overcommitment. It doesn't really matter, because they can go straight to Baron. There's still supers going in the bot lane. They can do whatever they want. The whole Rift is their playfield.
Yeah, OSG is in a very strong spot right now. They should be able to get this Drake for free, or Baron for free, sorry. I don't think TD Royal can really contest this with your Fiddlesticks dead, which I also got juked by the Fiddlesticks there. I was like, oh yeah, TD Royal has 4 people up. FG on the minimap kind of juked me out a little bit. But it is A-okay. Smolder, 189 stacks. Yeah, I'm feeling this game might end before Smolder gets to 225. So who needs that Elder Drake buff if you can just end the game when you have a 9-2 set?
And it really has to be stated that this is on the back of Novocaine just eschewing his entire economy for that early game pressure. In ways that were just not properly answered by TD Royal. There are ways to punish a Maokai for going this far behind in other lanes, or even in the lane where he got ahead, because Arius wasn't exactly put, like, a kill ahead. He was put experience ahead. Not even experience. Ash had solo experience because of that play, but they
Yep.
couldn't punish him.
Unfortunately, yeah. And honestly, right now, Novocaine's still deathless. Like they didn't punish him at all for that. It feels like man is just a really strong tree right now. Legit, just standing
Yeah.
in front of his team, saying, "My cat on a dragon's gonna kill everybody. I'm gonna just be
The
tanky and stand in front of you guys."
any fight where Novocaine dies probably will be a fight where Royal's Nexus will explode, because if they're that committed, they're probably all gonna die. Speaking of commitment, JFK has to W out, but he's still a little bit stuck. Looks like he will be able to walk away, but he's walking away to a tower that's just so under siege right now.
Yeah. And I just noticed a little bit of an odd build. Corki has mirror mana, which after the Corki rework, you really haven't been seeing that much. Like, you generally want to go either crit or lethality, so the mirror mana is kind of a
Okay,
bit of a
Valkyrie
strange
ult
choice
is
to make.
pretty good, but now it's only on Novocaine. Novocaine may fall here. If he does so, I believe the rest of the team will collapse. Novocaine going so low, but they don't want to commit on him. Now Novocaine will commit himself, say, kill me, please, because the rest of my team will absolutely destroy you. But Zarius has to run away. There's no set here. That's why the fight was so hard. The block from Tycerin. JFK flashes in, can't quite get the kill. Zarius is so low. I think he's going to be okay, though, because Cat on a dragon's too strong. And now JFK is in there, gets chimed in once again. Like I said, Novocaine dies, your Nexus is gonna explode, and Trainer gets the game.
Yeah, just try to kill the Smolder for the entirety of that fight, and Trainer Green just ends the game. So Smolder did end up getting to those 225 stacks at the end there. So he got one Elder Drake execute onto the Maokai, or not Maokai, Ornn.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he got the one. He got the one. He made it. But yeah, that was kind of a bit of a crazy game one for sure. Definitely not what I was expecting from the Smolder team.
Oh, I'm seeing that I'm having some technical issues. 1 second.
I don't know what the lobby is gonna be. Is the lobby code of the cheat
Regardless,
sheet updated? That's what I need to ask.
right? We all need to know these important things for the back end. Regardless, this is such an important information for the draft. Apparently, you just can't give Smolder over, even if you go with the early game that will help with that. It's just not gonna be enough.
I'm gonna guess that the lobby code's not updated on the cheat sheet because there's nobody in this lobby. I'm just gonna wait for an invite from Soulkeeper. He'll get me in there. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
definitely
Classic.
not what you're expecting from the Smolder team there, though. I mentioned that you definitely need to have that Maokai play around the bot lane, make sure that Smolder's safe and is able to scale, and I'm gonna say he did. We're not expecting that first blood onto the Karma in that game, so yeah. Jungler Novocaine, jungler from the side of OSG, just definitely enabling the rest of his team, I would say. Being their top, getting that first blood onto the Karma, even though it went over to the cat, still good to help relieve the pressure onto that Smolder. Make sure they get to yeah, what was that? Cat on a dragon. Oh, that's good. Good. Is Scarlet even here still? I don't hear her voice. Is it just me? All right. All right. I think it's just me for now. But the teams are getting in. I believe both teams, yeah, both teams are in there. We're gonna waiting to hear what side Royal wants in this game too, and we should be getting into draft hopefully soon. Watching is that Vish? It says a fox and her cat. Guess cat on Fox Demon. I like it. I like it. But yeah, still waiting to see which side Royal wants for this game too. But I don't know. Trying to figure out what Royal can really do. I don't know who this Icy Fire Shop person is, but they're in here. They're an Emerald 4 player, apparently, in this Arbiter lobby. That's good to see. Good to see. Just what we want to know. But I would say for the top lane at least, I from Royal side, I think they need to pick a carry top laner. I think JFK is more comfortable on the carries. I've never really seen him play Org or the Orn, not Org. Looks like Royal is actually picking red side for this game too, so that's good to know. JFK left the lobby. Don't know what happened there, but maybe there's sub coming in. It's possible. I do hear Scarlet in my. I heard her hop back in my Discord. Let's see if.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure everything's working. It looks like the USB that holds all my mic and camera all died at the same time, which was fun.
That's
But
good.
I'm
That's
back. What did I miss for draft? It looks like
good.
somebody picked a side or something.
Yeah, Royal is picking red side for this game too. That's the important part. Draft has not started yet. I did see JFK leave the lobby, so I don't know what happened there. There was an Emerald player in here for a minute, but not sure what's going on right now from the side of Royal since JFK left the lobby. But we shall see. Shall see.
Yeah, and I'm
Uh,
not even sure where you start with the draft adaptations. The easiest thing to say is to ban the smolder. But
yeah,
I can tell you from that lead, it would have worked on any champion. You give
yeah.
Zaria's Jinx, Kaisa, even Callista. That snowball was a bit ridiculous.
Oh yeah. And you gotta imagine the snowball would be even harder if he's playing the Callista. Like
Right,
that's just such a
exactly.
strong early game champion.
You can't say, "Oh, we need to ban Smolder because it popped off there." Whenever the game ended, whenever he literally got like 225 stacks.
I
That's
feel like they
not.
need to ban Set. I feel like Royal needs to ban Set this game. Like, let's be honest.
I think that they need to fundamentally change how Novocaine is able to interact with the game, because if Novocaine's allowed once again to throw away everything to get a small lead in bot lane and top lane, and that's all it takes to win the game, that's just like a fundamental issue that needs to change on multiple picks, not just one or two.
Yeah, I think they need an open space in spectator so that so that people can hop up, which is why I hopped up, but they're not getting an order. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, we'll get
Team Royal.
updated pretty quickly. It's hard for them to get an order because we're kind of filling up the whole area.
Yeah, I mean they need
But
Volvin.
they'll
Yeah, there we
figure
go.
it
They
out.
needed Volvin to hop up, and everybody needs to hop up and down. Here
The
needs to hop back
players
up
will
now.
figure it out. Regardless, we're gonna get into draft soon. Um, and yeah, I think TD Poro, it's a good start um to ban the set, but again, I don't think it takes a set for that kind of game to go that way. Yes, Trainer absolutely popped off, but I don't know. It's just so hard to see Jungle be able to throw away so much and for it to go so well.
Yeah,
Because Valhyr was unfortunately got the gift of having the lead on a champion that like really likes to power farm, and it just wasn't able to go anywhere.
yeah. Definitely felt bad on the side of Royal, especially in the bot lane. Not only what is happening right now.
I'm figuring it out, regardless. It just gives them more time to figure out what the heck they're gonna ban and change. I think that for TD Poro, they need to choose some more decisive lanes. They can't pick the Ornn or the Ashe Karma. I mean, Ashe Karma is still pretty good aggressively,
Maybe
but
if they do pick the Smolder, I think a Caitlyn would be better instead of the Ashe, but that's just me. The Caitlyn or the Smolder didn't take cleanse, which is it's an odd choice, but they won, so I don't know what I'm complaining about really. I don't know about the Corki mid lane. Did not really seem like a counter pick to Ari, if I'm being honest. Are they?
yeah, it
They're getting
was.
close. They're almost in order.
We'll definitely get into draft soon, I promise.
All right,
Regardless,
I see two people in the
you
right order. I don't know who this Verinda person is.
you also have to be sure for Alchemist, and to be not falling for those level 3 ganks, because if they don't die there, or even if they just keep up the pressure without losing too much, and they almost killed the Maokai as well,
Yeah,
Novokaine's game is over. He came down there, gave up all of his camps to get a kill for a Yumi. If that kill for a Yumi doesn't happen, or if he dies, the game is over.
yeah. It looks like maybe Royals swapping out their mid laner for a sub. That's what I'm seeing here. I think that's who Verinda is.
Potentially.
Yeah, they're bringing in Verinda. That makes sense. I understand now what's going on. So it looks
I'm
like
glad you.
both teams are lined up. We should be getting into draft any minute now. They might be
Yeah,
taking
I'm
5 minutes
just.
to scout, so we might be sitting here for a few more minutes waiting for draft to start. But
I
we'll
don't
have to
think
see.
there is an e sub, so I don't remember exactly how it works, but I believe that there shouldn't. I mean, if they allow them to, that's one
Yeah,
thing. But I believe Arenda's rostered, so technically they could just say no, we're just going to the draft now. I believe. I don't know. I don't keep track of the rules. That's other people's jobs. I just cast the
true.
games.
Verinda is
But
actually according to the lineup sheet, Verinda's the starting mid laner,
right.
and Husky's the sub. But
Either way, it looks like the teams are taking 5 minutes. So, because we've already kind of talked for a while, I think we're going to take a quick break and then come back for draft number 2, where a lot of things have got to change for TD Royal.
yes. Ugh.
Oh, don't think he ever really knew me. I run quite a distance, so in some ways I'm truly different. In some ways I kept my soul. Don't think he ever really knew me. I run quite a distance, so in some ways I'm truly different. In some ways I kept my soul. Never really knew me. Never really knew me. Don't think he ever really knew me. I have run quite a distance, so in some ways I'm truly different. In some way I kept my soul. I got time if you want me to freeze up. I'm new now, I found the flow. I'ma need you to keep up, not slowing down anymore. What you want, don't ever call me a sidekick. You know what I want, girl, I'm tryna make you my chick. Hey yo, excuse me, please don't confuse me. Liquid in my cup, I keep it juicy, juicy.
Okay, welcome back. A little bit quicker than we thought. They didn't need that much time to scout. They kind of figured it out. So we are going to go into draft pretty quickly. Looks like the links have been made and distributed. Everyone said they're ready. So as soon as people actually physically click on the things, we should be good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking
Uh,
at it. I'm looking at the draft wall.
I'm looking
Glad the
at it.
draft wall's
I'm
working.
looking at it.
Yeah. I've had it open
Congratulations,
for the
draft
past 5
wall.
minutes though. Good to
Well,
know draft wall actually managed to fix everything. I don't want
mhm.
to jinx it now. We're gonna go to a game 3, then suddenly have to use pro draft. But good old caster curse. But yeah, I'm just looking through the champions. I don't know. I always like seeing Aurora. Maybe we'll see an Aurora tonight. I don't know if anybody plays Aurora on these teams, but I'd love to see it. It's a lot of fun to watch. Very jumpy champion. A lot of
I do
burst, a lot of
like that
mobility.
I set us up to go into draft very quickly, and unfortunately, I was incorrect.
Uh,
Give it a
Link is
second. The link
broken.
has. Okay. Well,
Great.
maybe
Let me,
it'll be a little bit longer than I thought. My bad.
did
Regardless,
I jinx it? Did I caster curse this? Oh god.
regardless,
We're
game two
hopping.
will be interesting to see how they could possibly recoup from this, because that's kind of a hard loss to come back from. You go into game as a bot lane knowing what you need to do, and it's to play aggressive early, and you have to make this work. And your jungler's pathing towards it, so you're like, okay, we're gonna get a really good gank early, and it's gonna go well, and then you die immediately, unfortunately, without getting
Yeah.
any of that off.
Hmm.
It's kind of hard to reset everything and
See.
make it work. Especially if your team's gonna draft a similar matchup for you, because I don't know that you can give Zarius a more aggressive AD carry if that's what he can do to your bot lane as Smolder Yumi. You saying you're gonna give him like Draven, Callista, or some aggressive side of the matchup and hope it goes well? I don't know if it's gonna work out the way you want it to.
Yeah, and apparently people are saying that draft wall isn't working, so I might have jinxed this.
That's so amazing.
Caster curse.
Congratulations. I think that's the first time
I,
draft law is broken in a while, and it was all brought upon by yours truly, Bradles. Congratulations.
yeah. I got a good old caster curse. I even said it. I even called it out. I predicted the future, saying that draft wall is gonna break. Now that I said it, so looks like we are gonna be seeing pro draft. Doesn't matter if we're going to game 3 or not. We are seeing pro draft out tonight, so that's great. How,
On the bright side, we do have a setup for it now because this was happening so much before. And then Law Draft really got it together, and now,
now
unfortunately,
it's
they haven't.
broken again. I just had to say something. I just had to jinx it. All right, I got the spectator link. I hope. Let's open it up. Make sure it's working. It'd be really sad if draft law and pro draft breaks in the same night, but okay.
Don't
I got it
stop!
open.
Stop! Don't say that! What are you doing?
Oh, I got a gateway timeout on the draft law link. So yeah, draft law's website's just down, I think. That's great. All right, but I am looking at the pro draft. It's there.
It looks like it started. We actually made the draft. I am
Holy cow.
pleased to
We're
announce
there.
we have made it into draft. And Viego's the same first ban for Avalanche. I like that a lot. Viego's
There's the
not
set.
quite the same as Fiddlesticks. Has a lot easier setup for fights. If you give him that advantage that you gave the Fiddlesticks early, it's gonna go poorly for you. So just ban the junglers like that. Hecarim was the other one they did last time. I bet they'll do it again. Set was banned this time over for Royal, which kind of says that they respect it. Ooh, Malzahar ban would be interesting. It says
Is
that
it?
they
Oh,
might
comes
change
out.
up their matchups based on the set ban, or they just don't respect the Hecarim anymore.
Yeah.
And
We'll have
both
to
would
see
be
what
interesting.
OSG. We'll have to see what OSG first picks here. Maybe they're planning to first pick that Hecarim. Hecarim is very strong right now, so maybe that's what they're thinking. That's why they didn't ban it. But we shall have to see once we're done with these bans. Set and Amumu are the two bans coming out of TD Royal, and the Sejuani, which the Ace Soul is still up now. So maybe Avalanche first picks the Ace Soul. We don't know.
There's no
And
way.
yep,
There's
the
no
Hecarim.
world. Hecarim makes a lot more sense to me. Aesol first pick would just be the height of hubris, which, to be
Oh
fair,
yeah,
they kind of earned after game one. But still, that is a little ridiculous. Hecarim makes a lot more sense.
yeah. So now we know why they didn't ban Hecarim. They were planning to first pick it.
Mm-hmm. But this is something that you cannot do with the thing that Novocaine did last game, so maybe the rest of the champ select will reflect this change, because Hecarim is not Maokai. You cannot skip level 2 camps for the first 10 minutes of the game and expect to do well. And Jarvan's not Fiddlesticks. Kind of the flip side of the matchup, honestly.
Jarvan's definitely not Fiddlesticks.
Yeah.
Much better early game, much better counter ganking potential if Hecarim does want to look for that early game bot pressure like he did in in the last game. I mean, Hecarim can still level 3 gank, like, let's be honest. But his clear is faster than
He
Maokai's too,
could.
and TD Royal's still going for that Ash.
I mean, the Ash works out okay if you don't expect to see the Smolder, and you probably don't expect to see the Smolder with the Hecarim pick. Kaisa,
Yeah.
however, does a very good Smolder impression. Not quite as game over after 30 minutes, but pretty close. And the early game is a little stronger as well than Smolder.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, they haven't locked into Kaisa yet, so could be a juke. We'll have to see. They got two. Yeah, it's locked in. Never mind. It is a Kaisa, which I love to see. I love Kaisa and a Yone actually. So a lot of
Yeah,
AD.
that's a much different blind pick than last time. Last time Avalanche gave Matrix Ari, which was safe into the counter. And I'm not sure, but Verenda's a bit of a different player than Husky, obviously. So
Yeah,
perhaps the counter pick will go better for Verenda, especially now that it's a Yone, which is a little bit easier to counter pick than Ari.
yeah. We'll have to
Giving
see.
Verenda that option is kind of interesting.
And it's a Galio actually. I'm guessing it's a Galio support. That's my logic
Um,
here.
it definitely isn't the number one pick that I would pick directly after a Yone.
Definitely
But it
not.
works well with the team comp. It's an old one, right? Jarvan Galio, classic R button combo. However,
Called
kind of
the
knocked up.
Galio.
Yeah, but kind of, mixed up by the fact that Yone's been selected.
Yeah, it's not exactly what you want to see in the mid lane versus the Yone. Galio's known really as a counter pick towards the AP control mages, not a Yone. Yone will kind of shred him, and we don't know what that ban is. Let's see. It is a Karma
It's
ban.
a it's a llama ban. It's
It's
a
a
karma
Llama
ban,
ban.
yes.
They're banning
Um,
llamas.
double enchanter bans makes the Kaisa have to play a little bit more all in, which is
You
nice
don't
for Ash
want.
Jarvan
I was
and
gonna say, to
Galio.
be fair, with the Kaisa, you don't really want an enchanter. You want somebody who can go in. You want like the Rel. You want a Leona, Braum. So maybe what's his name plays a lot of enchanters. Tessarian. Maybe Tessarian plays a lot of enchanters. And is that going to be a Zyra bot? A Zyra support? That is a
Most
classic.
likely.
Yeah, that is a classic bot lane, actually. Ashe Zyra. There was back in season 3 when Cloud9 actually played Ashe Zyra bot lane for, I think, 27 out of 30 games in the
But
LCS.
this is interesting because it kind of induces something like Morgana,
Hmm.
which will be able to answer it a little bit. But I like that Royal has this aggressive bot lane with the Jarvan Galio that
And that
we
is a
want to
Yone
play
top
around
lane,
bot
I
lane.
believe. That is a Yone top lane because they just picked the Silas.
Silas has no bad ultimates so far. He
Yeah.
is very happy.
Hmm. But
It could
yeah,
be any number of things. Silas support was a little fringe playable. I really doubt that that's what's happening here because that would mean Morgana jungle or lane, and yeah, it just
it
seems
could be Morgana
unlikely.
jungle. But what if it's a J4 support and Zyra jungle on the side of Royal?
It also seems
Like,
really unlikely, but a little bit more likely whenever. Oh no, it's Graves. Okay, stop,
okay, that's
stop the
Graves.
presses.
That's not
Still,
Graves
Graves
top
is.
though, is it?
If you've got the Jarvan Galio, you probably want a jungle mid. At the same time, I don't know. My brain's too small for this.
Yeah, this is a draft. This is definitely a draft on the side of TD Royal. Like you're saying that Sona is a Graves, it's not actually a Sona. It's about to be
Yeah.
really confused, like J4 top, Zyra jungle, but the Graves doesn't explain a lot more. I'm gonna be honest. So I'm guessing
Regardless, we're gonna have to
my
update you with
guess,
where these champions are going.
yeah, my guess is that the Graves top into that Yone J4 jungle Zyra support, but it could always be like Zyra mid Galio support. Heck, maybe it's J4 top Zyra jungle. Honestly,
I know where
Graves
two
mid.
of these champions are going on my screen right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Ashe is
Kaisa's
probably
going
going
bot
top
lane,
lane.
Ashe is going bot lane.
Yeah.
I don't know about the other 8. They're a little
Heck,
confusing for me.
on the side of OSG Avalanche, maybe Hecarim's going top. You got Silas going mid or something. I don't know. Morgana jungle. Yone support. It could be. You never know. This is Arbiter League. Anything's possible.
I mean, even just the champions themselves have always been pretty flexible. So,
Hmm.
if you leave the draft confusing everyone, you've probably done well on one part of the draft, but you still have to capitalize on the confusion of messing up
Yeah.
the counter pick. On the other hand, they somehow Avalanche's Jedi mind tricked TD Royal to pick Galio into their Yone comp,
Yeah.
and then still pick Silas anyways. So they didn't
Yeah.
send the
Yeah.
Yone into Galio. I guess Galio does fine in the Yone, even if like, oh, Galio's an anti-MR. I mean,
Okay.
he's probably still an
Crazy
anti-all
idea.
in, but I
Crazy
don't
idea.
know.
Maybe the Silas is top to go into the Graves.
But they didn't even know it was great.
I know. But still. Maybe that's the decision now. Before you lock in the champions, you can decide where the champions go afterwards.
That's true.
Maybe it's
These
Yone mid
champions could
and
go
Silas
anywhere.
top. Yeah, yeah. We got to see what trainer locks in. I'm gonna guess it's the Yone top, but it might not be. And I don't know about you. Have you ever seen JFK play Graves?
Uh,
No, I haven't.
no. I could check and see if that is a thing that he's done. Potentially. It is the
That
Yone
is a
top
Yone
4
top.
trainer. And if you saw trainer set last game, Yone can do similar things. And it is JFK's Graves. Not Sona, Graves. Jarvan jungle. And then we see the Hecarim jungle, of course. And then the mid Silas, I'm gonna assume from Tricks. We'll see within the next 20 seconds.
It could still be that Morgana mid Silas support. You never
No,
know.
okay, so it is Silas mid, and I think Silas with this many good ultimates should be on a carry roll. The reason why you wanted to go Silas support in the past was because there were so many supports with really good ultimates, specifically a Mumu.
Hmm.
But taking Zyra or Ashe's ultimate in the bot lane isn't as effective if you're just a support with not that much gold. So putting it mid makes a lot of sense. Now this does mean that the draft is essentially locked in because it's Galio mid, and that means it's Ashe Zyra bot lane versus Morgana Kaisa bot lane. I said that in the weirdest order imaginable, but you get what I mean. Those
I
four
know.
champions are going bot lane. Um, and we've got an interesting one, but looking at between game 1 and game 2, Hecarim Novocaine cannot do that Maokai stuff, but at the same time, if you're able to give up that kind of deficit and still win the game that easily as Novocaine and win it deathless, or almost deathless, he died right before the Nexus exploded.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to
It's
imagine you could take
unfortunate.
the other side of that matchup as Hecarim and do very well as well. Jarvan's the one that's going to be eschewing camps this time. Hecarim, if he gets any of that gold, I believe will do very well and doesn't have to rely as much on the timing of ultimates like Fiddlesticks does. Yes, Hecarim is ultimate reliant, you could say, but it's a lot easier to set up those ganks.
Yeah, definitely 100%. And they're hovering Caitlyn. Did you know they're playing Morgana? I assume. Darian.
Yeah, they're just
There it
just
is.
messing with us real quick.
Trolling us. But I
Regardless,
do believe. I was gonna say I do believe it is time for us to take a quick break while we wait out that spectator delay, and yeah, we'll be seeing you guys in the pouch American minutes. So, see you soon.
Looking, finding all what is inside. I'm taking in all the lights. Oh, I'm not used to this. I'm not looking back, I'm not clear. And if you love me, you let me fly. Yeah, I'll meet you on the dance floor. Can you meet me on the dance floor? Yeah, I see you on the dance floor. Can you meet me on the dance floor? 'Cause I wanna dance. 'Cause I wanna dance. I wanna dance. I wanna dance. I wanna dance. 'Cause I wanna dance. I wanna dance. I wanna dance. Can you meet me on the dance floor? I wanna dance. I wanna dance. I wanna dance. 'Cause I wanna
Welcome back for OSG Avalanche versus TD Royal, and we've got quite the champion lineup for both teams. I really like the Jedi mind trick of we're gonna pick Yon, and Verinda says, I don't care, pick me Galio. Play it into me, I don't care. And Trainer says, no, it was my own, you're correct.
Yeah, right.
So we'll see what happens. Looks like some nice 5-point here. Clean, fair League of Legends. Nothing absurd happening at level 1. Some skill shots being thrown out.
You know,
But
just that Ash W going out. I'm surprised it didn't hit anyone, actually. If I'm
yeah.
gonna be honest. That such a wide skill shot. But yeah, just a classic 5 points. You got the junglers going mid lane. You got the Galio hovering topside for Silas. I wanted to see him dance, but I don't think they're gonna. Love to see him dance right now. But
Man,
nope.
Silas has such an amazing group of ultimates to steal from.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you could not pick a team comp to be a better group of ultimates almost.
I'd
I
say
mean,
the only
arguably, I
ultimate
guess.
he doesn't want is the Graves.
Yeah, but even then, it's like an extra dash with some burst. It's fine.
Yeah, it's still fine ultimate.
Jungler starting
Probably-
opposite side. Hecker Novian actually starting on Wolf Camp, which leads to some interesting ideas, including to an interesting level 3 gank potential. I don't think he's going to do it again, but that's what I said last time.
Do you
but
see the
this does
J4
mean-
here mechanics using the flag to start the Grump early while you're finishing the blue? So yeah.
Oh,
Little bit
Cleanse
of
is
a
already
trade
out from
problem.
areas, but they do have the push here, so maybe there won't be a punish. However, Alchemist says that it doesn't matter if you have push, if I'm just going to chunk you out to half anyways and take your cleanse. So we'll have to see what happens at level 2, because junglers are not going to be here for a while. Level 2 does happen first for Avalanche's bot lane, but the health advantage is still on Alchemist's favor.
Yeah, but the level advantage is on the side of Avalanche. They just did ping that level 2, so it's gonna be
Oh,
a
wait,
little.
Oh my god, if Randa got that. But this does mean they know exactly where Hecarim is, which means that JFK should not be falling for this gank. JFK should not be falling for this gank. JFK saw where Hecarim was. JFK is not falling for this gank like I'm just screaming. Meanwhile, Verinda just soloing in mid lane. Looks like JFK did not fall for the gank and actually chunked out Novocaine. And I can't believe Novocaine's doing this again. He's level 3 ganking, losing out on farm to a Jarvan.
I mean,
Meanwhile, Verinda gonna get just an auto attack, not quite able to get M8 tricks. Mid lane is suddenly so strong for TD Royal in a way that was not expected because they saw the Galio. M8 tricks could have picked anything into this, pick Silas, and now has to recall with his tail between his legs. And look at this, Verinda's hunting for Hecarim. Not gonna find him yet, doesn't want to spend too much tempo looking. But this does mean that Novocaine, again, is really far behind on tempo and did not get first blood this time.
yeah, that is a little bit unfortunate. But oh, it's a good combo onto the Matrix. But
Yeah, down in items, so Verinda has to be a little careful, but if she can do everything but lose the life, this would be a huge advantage because you've got teleport and Silas does not.
Morgana Q goes a little bit wide there, as we see.
Meanwhile, Valkyr is up here ready for this gank. JFK maybe getting something on the benefit of the jungler. Valkyr is kind of just sewing himself saying, where are you gonna go, bro? This is so hard for Trainer to play well. Has to get his third Q up. Does so now. So now they have to play
Valkyr
around
is
this.
low, though.
Decide not to worry about it. E out. There's no cooldowns down for Trainer, but there's no follow-up for the rest for JFK and Valkyr because JFK's out of mana and Valkyr used all the cooldowns.
Yeah. Valkyr took a lot of damage from minions there too. I honestly felt like Trainer probably could have turned that if they got if he was able to get the knockup on the J4 if he started taking tower shots.
mean,
Unfortunately, J4
he's still in a good
has lot of
spot.
abilities. Yeah.
He's still in a good spot though because surviving that now Jarvan can't really stay, although Valkyr disagrees he is going to stay, and JFK has no mana. This fight is going to be pretty hard fought. The E damage is going to be pretty nice. We know the gank bot lane, Novocaine getting some CC down onto Alchemist. Alchemist should fall here. The Galio TP is just a little bit too late, but maybe it's not late enough to get kills back. Gets one on the AD carry, which is pretty good. I don't think they're going to follow up on anyone else, but Novocaine now is going back into, again, a dead jungle. His first level 2 camp once again being taken by Valkyr.
Yeah.
JFK was able to survive that trade up in the top lane. So once again, Novocaine doing some major ganks rather than farming. Gets a
I get
kill,
it.
but they get a
Heckram's
kill
tanky
back.
jungler.
Yeah, but they do get a kill back, and you're a Hecarim this time, not a Maokai.
Yeah. But Hecarim does, I would say, damage-wise, Hecarim scale is probably a bit better than Maokai. So it's all right getting that first blood onto that Hecarim. Hecarim will snowball really hard, and what are they actually gonna do? Like, yeah, Zyra has the stare, but he's got a Morgana shield to back him up. But it's
Look at
gonna
this
be really
sad
hard
pathing.
for the squishy
Novocaine
members.
is going for Novokaine's going for one level 2 camp right now, that wolf camp, and then he's got nothing to do.
Didn't he start topside? Did he not full clear his topside?
Yeah, he started wolves.
Okay.
The problem is Jarvan came in and took the level 2 camp, so now wolves are the only camp. He assumes that Valkyr took everything, so he's just going straight for the grubs. The problem is Valkyr stayed around. No items, yes. Valkyr only has a health potion to the call fields and the boots of Hecarim, but if this is spotted, it's kind of dangerous. Meanwhile, the mid fight is important because, again, this is going to dictate how it goes top lane because of the global ultimates. Meanwhile, Trainer surviving a dive, and Hecarim has to run away because he's aware after that dive attempt, Valkyr's going to be like, hey, wait a second, where's Hecarim?
Yep. Did get one, I believe.
Yeah,
One
so
of
he
those
gets
grubbies,
one,
but
and now he gets to go to his first level 2 camp of the game, the Wolf camp.
hey, he got his buffs. Buffs are what matter the most, right?
Exactly,
Who
and
needs
getting
the
that grub
XP?
is pretty huge. Yes, one grub is not that impactful in terms of passives. It's a lot of experience for a jungler that has issued a lot of experience. And now he's just going to be able to go to his bot camps like normal and get these level 2 camps.
Yeah. He's getting his chickens. Chickens are important. You got to get a good, healthy diet. Well, we play like dogs around here. You got to get your chickens. Root is landing onto the Zyra. Nothing.
Yeah, but no one's 6. Kaisa could go all in if that happens while she's right next to him. Or while Kaisa has 6, neither is true. So it's just going to be a root. Second time in a row. Actually, Morgana hit 6 first, which is kind of funny. Now, Hecarim's here for the gank, but is on a ward. It might still end up happening because the mid wave is fully in the control of Zarya's, and he should hit 6 off of this wave. Looks like they're going to slow push it so that way Hecarim has time to steal the camps of Valkyr, which is good because his own camps are being stolen as we speak.
Yep.
Decides to back off, though, because Alchemist and Decipher actually rescue the camps. So once again, this Hecarim is up on experience right now, but kind of has to just farm a little minor camp over here and then a buff.
Yeah. Does not feel the best on the side of TD Royal. You got your Hecarim, he has 1 kill, but I feel like he scales better than the J4. I feel like that's the difference here. You do still have that J4 Galio combo in the late game, so we'll have to see if they manage to combo their ultis well together. Granted, Silas can just steal the Galio ulti and ult onto the Hecarim.
I think Novocaine is going to show up mid here right after Valkyr recalled. So this will be a 1v2 for Verinda, but Matrix is kind of low. Silas does have a little trick of healing up a bunch. It looks like Novocaine just wants to get this push in, which is really important. Verinda does not want to let it happen, however. Novocaine has to ultimate just to save his mid laner. Looks like it might not be enough, however. Verinda's coming in. The arrow is nice. Verinda has no mana. And Matrix is still too scared of a 0 mana Galio, and I don't blame him. So even committing the Hecarim for all that time has not led to this wave being in the state where Matrix wants it. And now JFK's down here.
Yeah, that's a choice. He saw he tried to blast cone over, but I think he was too far out of range to actually take the blast cone over the wall there.
I think Hecarim has been in mid lane for the last 40 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's just catching the wave. Somebody's got to catch those creeps in XP.
Right, but it does lead to a little bit of awkwardness for the scaling matchup. Meanwhile, top lane, JFK comes back to lane, has a little bit more control of the wave state, but not so much control of the Sion, who's going wild on his health bar.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it has to be said he's doing okay in there. You kind of want to punish Sion. Wait, did I just curse him? Because right now this fight could go either way. Ultimate's still available for JFK. Gonna auto attack R, but the shield from the W is good enough. However, Trainer, still not happy with that, is gonna ult in. Oh, the flash out from JFK into auto attack. And JFK hasn't played Graves for a long time. Doesn't care. Absolutely destroys Trainer here.
Yeah, that was well played. Getting the solo queue there, kind of baiting Trainer into that ulti, but at the same time, a bit of a misplay. He had to know that JFK did have flash up there, so little bit of a good play from JFK, misplay from Trainer. Let's put it that way.
Now, Novocaine is down here in the bot lane once again. There is a ward in that tri-bush just like last time, and a ward in that little pixel bush as well. So
Yeah,
he will be repelled.
World does know that he's there. And we're seeing Val here actually kind of hovering around mid lane.
Miranda just wanting to trade every chance that is possible in the mid lane.
I mean, you got Galio, you got that magic damage shield that comes up every now and then. So if that's up, you want to be looking to trade with the Sylas because Sylas really doesn't have that much return damage right now, with just the what's that thing called? Hextech Alternator. And Graves, JFK does get his Yomu's done off of that kill onto the Yone there. So we'll have to see if that makes a huge difference. I would have probably gone Eclipse if I were him, but that's...
Wait, Trainer doesn't have CC, however the Hecarim is here and behind him. JFK is going to have to all in because he is absolutely dead. The only question is, can he get Trainer before he goes down? It's looking close, not really. He is super dead, and Novocaine will be the one to get that. But that is traded over for the Dragon. Ocean Dragon pretty good into the Kaisa comp. So,
Yeah.
not the worst trade, but this does mean the Hecarim's going to get 4 grubs, assuming that no one interrupts him. Meanwhile, the ultimate comes in! The flash in from Decipher, and Zarius just ults out. And that was all available information.
Yeah, they...
has that ult.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate.
Maybe they were hoping they didn't know how to use Kai's ult to escape a J4 ultimate? I don't know. I mean, I've had it happen in solo queue.
It's on cooldown. It's not the worst for Valhyr trade, right? You don't mind trading your ult for Kaisa ultimate. It's just a little awkward that Decipher tried to follow up, despite that being an option that was always going to be taken.
Yeah. And a good Morgana route coming out onto Decipher.
Oh, this 3v1 is kind of hard for Verinda, but Verinda's pretty tanky and Yon has to go away. So
Yeah.
they've committed the top lane. Yon is going to have to walk back to a wave dying into his tower with Greaves getting an additional plate. And all they got was Verinda to just be like, I don't know, man, I'm good.
Oh no, you guys can't touch me. I guess I just walk away.
Right, Verinda doesn't even lose lane priority. Hecarim comes back, and I don't even know this fight is what Novocaine wants. The E forward is pretty good. They don't quite find the taunt, but Jarvan's in the area as well. The lane position is just so hard for Matrix. Meanwhile, on this top side, Yon usually can trade with the E for free because of the bonus damage, but he absolutely loses that trade against JFK.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta look at the item difference at this point, right? In that top lane trades. JFK's got his Yomu's done, and Trade's just got a Vamp Scepter now, but before all he had was a longsword and a...
Oh my gosh, that root is so big, gets the cleanse out. But that's a pretty big cooldown, and now Novocaine's not gonna have any follow-up, so even though he's running into a Zyra with low protection, Zyra just gets to walk away. And the top lane trade gets a little bit better once Trader does get a recall off, because even if he doesn't have the items, he has the health at least. But he's still losing tower plates at a crazy rate, and there's a Jarvan behind him taking his jungler's camps as we speak.
Yeah, I mean, Novocaine's spending so much time bot lane right now. It makes sense. Let's see. Novocaine does have ulti. I don't know if they know Silas is here.
Yeah, I think at this point, they're calling the value here, so they might go for a 3v4 with the tower being as like the 4th person. It's still a little scary. JFK getting caught here is kind of big as well, because I think this is the one instance where Trainer could get some damage off. Jarvan's still farming away though, and they don't even go for the dive because Galio's off the map.
Yeah, and Val here is behind Trainer, but JFK is super low right now. But Val,
okay, get everything off. Trainer has flash though, so it's a little bit awkward to give up your prime position behind him. But you do get Trainer's flash, and Rift Herald is up.
And if you notice, Galio did finish his Hollow Radiance. So
how does JFK get out of here safely though? There's a lot of members coming up. Trainer and JFK are pretty low health. I think this Hecarim's just gonna kill JFK though. Is gonna ult forward, dodges with the E. Galio ult is out. So, or that's not Galio. Sorry, Silas's Galio ult. Now JFK dodging everything. It looks like he's just fine. Arrow comes out, and Hecarim is not fine. Silas also is not going to be able to get out. I believe Valhyr waiting for the E. There goes the E. Doesn't have the EQ up as well, so I guess Silas will live. But at the same time, you just lost so much while Herald was up, and all you got for it was the fact that bot lane gets some pressure.
Yeah, but are they actually? I mean, they're not going to get the tower here. They did use the Ashe ulti in the top lane, so they don't have the Ashe ult to try and catch out this Kaisa, but I don't know, I feel like on the side of TD World, you're going to take that.
Decipher did a cheeky play. Instead of covering this dive because he's so sure that Wolf and Alchemist is going to be safe with these summoners up, he pushes in mid wave before even coming to bot lane, which is just
Yeah.
another denial on Matrix. It's kind of hilarious to me.
And first turn actually goes to the side of TD Royal, surprisingly, after that top lane play. I mean, they did get a good shutdown onto Novocaine.
Ooh, and I
makes
don't think
sense,
Silas can
but-
handle this at all. JFK has an item and a half. That BF sword almost acts like an item this early into the game. And Matrix is kind of desperation mode in lane once again.
Yeah. Yeah, Trainer having doing something.
Novocaine
Not
cannot
having-
take this 1v1. He is here just to help the wave state, but he gets roasted out as well. So mid lane is still in danger.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the
Maybe.
problem with doing this anti-farming technique on Hecarim. You're not very good of a champion if you don't have the levels and stats that you need. Meanwhile, Zarius has to use Flash because Cleanse was used last time.
Yep. Little late on that Morgana shield there. That's kind of surprising me, especially because Zarius walked into the snare. It's almost like he was expecting the Zyra or the Morgana E to come out there.
And
That
this
does
is just
surprise
such
me a
a
little
different
bit.
game from game one. It almost feels like the roles have completely reversed in every way. I thought it was just in the team styles. Verinda looking for Tom potentially. Arrow comes out. Flash has to come out for Morgana. You take that every time. Morgana Flash is so powerful. And Ash Arrow is such a low cooldown.
It is very short cooldown at this stage of the game compared to other ultimates, but let's see. Yeah, about 100 seconds. Not bad, not bad. And I don't know if I've actually seen Kaisa ult aggressively yet this game.
No, it was just to get out of J4 ult and some other nonsense, so... Which is
Yeah.
fine. You don't need to be that aggro against Ashe Zyra as Kaisa. But if the rest of the map is this much on fire, you don't exactly have the luxury of being able to scale into the late game either.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Ashe Zyra scales insanely well, so I'd be more worried about the scaling on the side of oh,
What
that's more
the
Hyper
boy,
1K.
Novocaine playing tricks right now. Not sure if that's what he wants to be doing. I have definitely done that E before. It feels like you should be able to auto attack the plant, but if your E is still on, you're gonna go right back in the other direction.
Yep.
But he's too fast, so it doesn't really matter.
He is Hecarim. He is the horse that runs fast. But it looks like bot lane turret might actually fall on TD Royal here. We're seeing pings go out from the bot lane of Avalanche, so I do imagine this will fall.
Yeah,
On its
Brandon
way
doesn't
to
want to
should.
probably take the TP because the tower will fall. I mean, you could take the TP to the mini wave, but there's not really a point since the tower's gone anyways.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Brendo probably just dies if he TP's in there, like, to be honest. It's a tanky Galio, maybe not, but... Wait, when did mid lane tower fall? I didn't even notice that.
Regardless, that's 2 dragons for TD Royal. They are well on their way. Oh my gosh, that's such a huge catch! You can't Morgana shield you both! And now Kaisa has no ultimate. Hecarim will come in to try to save. Galio gets the damage done with an ultimate, which you almost never see. And Verena gets 2 kills? This game is so accelerated for TD Royal.
It really is. And I think JFK is going for a Bloodthirster second on Graves right now, which I like. It makes a lot of sense. But very strong items. You get that extra shield, you get extra sustain versus the Yone, who does want to trade aggressively into that Graves. And JFK is just up 60 CS right now.
Right, this is
Against
so
Trainer
dangerous
Kane.
for Avalanche because last time you were able to blind pick champions left and right and not be punished. Just one small change of putting Verinda in there, putting JFK on an aggressive champion instead of Ornn. Suddenly your blind picks are not looking so good.
Yeah. It was. I do believe it was a kind of blind pick Yone. They could have sent the Yone into the Galio. Like, let's be honest. They didn't have to send the Yone top lane. But I feel like the Silas and the Galio matchup is just... It's much worse than the Yone versus Galio matchup. Galio traditionally counters those AP champions, so a little strange to see for them to just send that Silas mid lane. But yeah, honestly, at that point, they didn't have much armor. They probably could have done double AD mid solo lanes. Send that Tristana mid, maybe. Bring those AD carries back. I don't think Lucian was banned this game.
Royal just looked like a completely different team off the Verinda pick and Valkyr switching to early game aggression jungle. I mean, you still saw Valkyr doing the farm plays early. JFK is just going forward into the Yone. He does not care. Doesn't even care about the Hecarim. He's calling the bluff. JFK is like, please ult into me. I will destroy you. Little does he know Novocaine's ult isn't even up. But Novocaine just kind of has to run.
I mean, it's up now.
Now he will ult into Jarvan. Kai'Sa's in the area as well, but all these champions can get out, and all these champions can get into the area. Also coming into Onda Morgana with no flash still. Blast Plant is available, but the damage is just enough. They also committed the teleport, so they really want to get a lot here, but there's so much available once they get these kills in the top tower and the mid tower. Looks like they might even get some damage on Kai'Sa. Not quite gonna follow up. Now, do you have to notice Matrix is farming the side lane pretty nicely by himself, but Galio's on the way, and they've still got so much pressure on this low health mid tower.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna take this tower here.
Oh
But,
my goodness,
I
Hecarim,
don't
you
know
cannot
about that one,
survive
okay?
that! You're not Maokai! Even Maokai would have had an issue trying to survive that. Gets rooted up, gets killed, and Novocaine playing like Maokai, dying like a Hecarim.
Yeah, TD Royal should be able to get an inhib here even, I think. Especially if,
Right, and
what's his name, Matrix isn't backing. Okay,
I don't
he's
even know if
going
the
back.
Sylas flanks work out. He is in a really good spot if this was a Sylas that was ahead. This is not a Sylas that's ahead. He kind of has to just run away from JFK.
Yeah. Especially because he's half health running in. If it's a full health Silas, it'd be a completely different story, even as behind as he is, but it's not. It's a half health Silas trying to look for a flank position. He has Galio ulti, but you want your team to engage first if you have Galio ulti, and his own team is not in any position to engage right now.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to cross map. Is this Baron call? They might just be going for this tower, which is an objective bounty while this dragon is going down.
Mm-hmm.
But they are overloading the top side of the map with the spawn available. They're going into the pit. That's a pink ward. Pink ward usually means Baron crawl. They're going to try to sneak it. Blue Trinket does spot them, so everyone is aware this is happening. Not many people. These people are so slow. Graves is teleporting to the wrong side, yet it still is enough to get Avalanche off of it.
There's an Assault coming too.
Yeah, so that oh, JFK, you are alone. That would be so crazy. You do have Galio ult. I don't think JFK wants to go for it, though.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but who knows? Maybe we'll start seeing this Graves top lane pick more in Arbiter League. It's probably the first time we've seen it, I'll be honest.
I know it's the first time JFK's played it. All split for LXC. I can look into the stats real quick. Actually, it's hard to say, because I don't know if I have a difference between Graves top and Graves jungle. He's obviously much more popular there. Meanwhile, Verinda, you're a little alone. People are coming now. Verinda's pretty tanky. JFK is getting Galio ulted. I mean, it's just like they're fighting a 3v4 or 3v3, and it just doesn't look close despite all of the delays. Hecarim will go down. Kai'Sa's here, though. I mean, the collapse is kind of easy for Avalanche. It's a little awkward, isn't it? This is a huge amount of shutdowns.
Yeah,
And
that
right
was
next to the
actually a
Baron pit as
good fight for Avalanche. Surprisingly there, the Kai'Sa getting 2 shutdowns in that fight too. That's going to feel really good for the Kai'Sa. Ended up getting one on JFK and one on Brenda.
Because in 4 minutes, the Soul will spawn, and if your Kai'Sa is not completely online by the time Soul spawns, it's probably over for you.
Yeah, but she does have the two evolved. She does have Q and E, so she is in a very strong spot right now. If she can get the Nashers done before that Drake spawns, then it could be. There's potential. We'll have to see what they buy on this back. Only got 1,500 gold right now, so it's not going to be enough to just straight up complete the Nashers here. We'll see, though. But with 2 items, Kai'Sa is a very strong champion, and I think we'll be able to out-DPS that 2-item Ash. So we'll have to see if Avalanche is able to play around that Kai'Sa. It's a possibility that they can contest this next Drake.
And they kind of have to. I do not imagine Kai'Sa outscaling Chemtech Soul, especially with the other arrangement of champions that she has. Yone does pretty well in the late game, but I don't know. Especially when we're talking about Galio Jarvan combo, so Kai'Sa can never ult aggressively because then she's not just gonna get jumped on.
Galio Jarvan and Zyra. Can't forget about the Zyra.
Right. Just all the circles, all of the no zones. Hyerson going a little aggressive. Special doesn't stop you from being trapped, and you're dead.
Yeah, that was a little bit of an overstep there from Sarian.
I mean, I wish Morgana Shield did protect you from Jarvan ult. That would be very cool.
You just walk through the wall.
Basically a spell effect. Yeah. No problem.
It doesn't block spell effects. It blocks CC and magic damage.
Regardless, it doesn't really matter because I don't think Royal's in a position to try to force Baron with the numbers advantage. And the towers are kind of awkward to siege as well. So it's just going to be some farm giving it over. But you're still losing out on Morgana getting XP. Morgana's not going to be a level 11 for the soul, most likely. Which is pretty huge. That's the level that matters for Morgana, of course.
Yeah.
But Renda does not care at all. You can commit to me as much as you want. Meanwhile, this fight top lane, JFK is up a level. But Yone's still doing crazy thing late game. JFK still has ultimate, though.
Yeah, so does Trainer again, though. That's the only thing. Gotta be careful.
It's so much easier for... Well, we'll see. Oh, the Ash Arrow barely dodged out. Can JFK dodge this? Has no E, so has to flash. Just walks out. Doesn't even need the flash to dodge it. That means his tower is going down. It means that Trainer has to call over the Morgana. Decipher also being called over. But JFK could just walk away until Zyra's here. Looks like we're actually calling over a lot of people to help in this bot lane fight.
Zyra does have that Leon
trigger.
Yeah. But it does look like Royal might be looking at this Baron. They are rotating the Ashe and Galio up towards the top. So, yeah, they are starting
has teleport. JFK has teleport. Now, it's a little awkward. Galio Ashe, not the most damaging to this Baron. Jarvan even coming in isn't going to help that much. But they will get it eventually. And right now, Avalanche has no ability to face check. They have no vision even close to the Baron, let alone on the Baron. They're not the ones with Ashe. So, it doesn't matter if Royal took 10 years to take this. They will eventually get it.
I don't even... OSG might not even know. They still have 4 people just sitting in the box that jumped right now.
Well, even if you do know, it's between, are they on Baron or are they sitting in that bush right in between mid where we have to face check and die? So it's just really hard. They probably knew that it was a possibility. I don't think that there's anything they could have done about it, though.
I have to agree on that one. Gosh, why am I so tired
now,
right
this is soul spawning, and it looks like Royal's just giving it up. The question is, how much can Royal get for the soul? They're getting a tower that probably already would have been theirs. Once you get Baron, the tower is really easy to get. What more can they get while Hecarim is busy on the soul?
We shall have to see. Okay, JFK, a little overextended there.
JFK, sir. I understand you want to delay the backs. Probably not worth the shutdown. They do get the inhibitor because of that play, however. It must be said. Not a complete int. And now Yon is the one who is going to die. So at the end of the day, they kind of just traded top laners and inhib for the first dragon for Avalanche. So, you know, scoreboard-wise, pretty good for Royal. Maybe not the best execution, but, you know.
Yeah. Man, you saw Trainer probably got a little bit tunnel vision there trying to kill the Ashe. But took an Ashe arrow to the face, I believe, and just Zyra there. Zyra does so much damage at this stage in the game. And just a bit hard. Very hard for the side of OSG Avalanche to really get an out in this game. And to find that out that is going to help them win even a team fight at this point. You gotta remember, they can't just win one team fight if they hope to win this game. They gotta win probably multiple team fights. I'd say 2 to 3 at least.
That being said, at this level, it must be stated that giving up soul is a risk, right? I'm not giving up soul, but, you know, deferring your soul, you know. Yes, it is their first dragon. Avalanche does not get much value off this dragon. And yes, you do get that inhibitor. But if you do not punish this Kai'Sa, who now gets to farm a huge wave top lane all the time for free, you will lose the game. So it is a risk. It's usually the correct risk. But, you know, they are putting their hand on the table and saying, we're gonna win the game. And they better deliver, or else they might be looking back at it like, why didn't we just grab soul?
Yeah. Kai'Sa is sitting with an Elixir of Wrath in her inventory, so she knows the next fight's going to be a pivotal one. You know, make sure to have that extra AD from that Elixir to make sure they can hopefully get those health bars down. And
I think
JFK
is kind of caught.
JFK
JFK also caught. It looks like Yon is getting a lot of CC here. Hecarim as well. This is a huge amount of gold to give over. Because once again, you're putting yourself on a clock whenever you take that inhib. Now, they are trying to use the tempo to get the inhib mid, which is good. But it does open up the possibility of them not being able to end the game if they don't play it exactly right.
Yeah. A little bit of a wonky positioning there for JFK. Not being there with the rest of his team that probably wanted to end there. Imagine if he was there, that could have been an end angle. But for now, looks like they're just going to back up. Maybe look for that Drake. I don't have timers on, so I probably should. Objective timers. Look at that. We still don't have Drake for another 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
Right,
So,
and top inhib will be close to spawning them. Mid inhib will be down, which is a good part of taking that inhib so late.
mhm.
JFK also has teleport, so this play that they're setting up right now will have JFK available. Ash walks out of the bush. Looks like Veranda's gonna go in, but they're still special, there's still a flash, and they miss everything!
They do. They do miss everything.
Although,
Well,
the benefit of
looks
being
like
in the
Brenda.
lead, it doesn't really matter, right? Arrow's gonna be up, Flash is gonna be up well before anything. Well, not Flash, sorry, but everything else is gonna be up before Soul spawns. So you can
Yeah.
still just siege this tower.
They do have to be careful though. Trainer Gain's ultimate's gonna be back up soon. If he gets a good multi-man ultimate, it could be a good team fight for the side of
Oh,
OSG.
Zarius is not who you want matching JFK. This is so awkward. Yes, you're in your base, but Zarius has to use Zanya's. Now, JFK is in an awkward position. Zarius, you did not want to go in there, and now Galio can ult. If they win this fight, they win the game. The stun is good on to Verinda, but Verinda's too tanky to care. Goes in, takes even 2 tower shots. Doesn't look like it affected the health bar at all. Meanwhile, JFK is just slaughtering Novocaine. Will finally go down to Silas, but without the Kaisa, there's not enough damage. Trainer is looking for something, anything. No ultimate available. Taunt even comes through. The game should be over. We'll absolutely have turned it around and made a complete stomping of game 2.
Yeah. I do believe that should be the end of the game. Oh, wait. Maybe not, maybe not.
Except for a few crazy kills, but I don't think it really affects the end of the game other than the stat lines, because Ash is sitting the Nexus right now. Even if Hecarim kills Val here, it will not change the state of the score of the match. They could have shut down a Jarvan, but their Nexus goes down.
And we're going to a game 3.
Yeah, I was not at all expecting a performance of that TV Royal. They looked completely defeated after the draft and how game 1 went. If you let your opposing team draft Smolder, can't shut it down, get snowballed on by Smolder, there's almost no outs for you. But apparently the outs just put Verinda in on Galio and put JFK on Graves.
Yeah. Apparently that's to be fair, there was no Smolder for them to scale with. There wasn't that late game win con on the side of OSG Avalanche this time. So we'll have to figure out what OSG is going to be doing in this game 3. I'm gonna say that Young top lane pick is probably not the play, but that's just me.
If JFK can take a champion out of his dregs of the champion pool, Graves from over a year ago, I mean, perhaps he's been scrimming with it, and completely destroy your top lane side like that, then yeah, you can't blind pick Young. It's just not available.
Yeah, I agree. Again, I feel like maybe sending the Yon mid lane probably was the better play too. Okay, and OFG is actually going to be taking red for this game 3. So
Which is
for
the
the
first
first time
time
this
they've been red
series,
side. Mhm.
yeah, for the first time this series, we will be seeing different. Oh, it looks like draft law's working again. I don't want to jinx it. I'm not saying anything,
Don't.
but you know.
Okay, let's wait till we're actually in to say anything like that.
Oh, I'm waiting for that. Is that the spec link? I think it is. Oh no, never mind. There's the spec link. See, cross my fingers. Oh, I'm in. I got the spec link. We're good. I think. Hopefully. I don't want to say anything. I know how temperamental draft law is if you say anything about it.
Yeah, but Novocaine, I mean, he has to come up with something else, or hope that TD Royal aren't able to punish it, because that is 2 games in a row that he's gone minor camp, major camp, minor camp, gank, and just completely issued any level of scaling amount for his jungle. It works totally fine on Maokai. It can work on Hecarim if you get a good enough lead for yourself. But if they just barely don't work out like that, suddenly you're kind of useless. And now you've shown it twice. Like one time's, okay, he has a level 3 gank in him. We'll be a little bit more careful. But the second time he does it again, you kind of have to expect it for game 3.
Yeah. And if anyone from the game is watching the stream, we need somebody to hop up so we can hop down.
Wow. They'll figure
They're
it
trying
out
to get an Orler,
eventually.
and me and Scarlet are both on here. Scarlet, hop over to this side so they can at least get an order, so Royal can.
Regardless, it looks like Verinda will be joining us for game 3 as well, which I think is a good change. And I also like the idea of Valkyr being on one of those early game champions. Jarvan was obviously picked for the Jarvan Galio combo. They picked it even in the face of the blind pick Yon. At the same time, it looks so much better than the Fiddlesticks, even before the Jarvan Galio combo was online.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. That J4 having a huge impact in this early game, which we're gonna have to see if OSG Avalanche is able to respond to that. Ha! I got a spectator for you. Beat you there. Oh, another space up for you.
Well, sorry to say that I'm too slow. Regardless, the draft is going to be so interesting here because we've got two major things. Avalanche has just been told that apparently their Smolder can snowball, but their Kaisa can't.
Yeah.
They can survive lane and thrive with Smolder Yumi. Not so much whenever they don't get the jungle gank early. And the second thing
Mhm.
is they actually get red side this time.
Yeah. So we'll have to see if OSG is able to use that the counter pick that Red Side offers to hopefully get a good matchup in I'd say the top lane. 'Cause it feels like the top lane's kind of been the point of contention where we want to be looking at these games. Granted, there was the Cat on a Dragon game one that kind of got really ahead early, but so did Set on the side from Trainer games. So we'll have to see here. I'd like to see Trainer maybe get a good counter matchup in this draft and do something top lane. It felt like he was just kind of shut down really hard in the top lane last game.
And he was even the benefit of the level 3 Novocaine gank.
Yeah.
Yeah, because okay, and also another thing to set up. Verenda was the entire reason why that gank failed. I don't know. I mean, not the entire reason. Who knows how JFK would have played without the information? But Verenda literally walks in, almost steals the blue buff, and lets everyone know what's going on with Novocaine. Suddenly, the gank does not work very well whenever you've basically got a scout on you, like, hey, Hecarim's coming here right now, JFK.
Yeah.
And so partially because of that matchup where Verenda was gifted, she was gifted the Galio into Silas matchup. Top lane goes the way that it does. So
Hmm.
kind of interested to see if the mid lane can influence the top lane in the opposite direction, where you make Verenda not have such an easy time early, and that doesn't go that way, and suddenly JFK has an issue.
Oh god, somebody clicked the blue link. Oh no. I think it was me. No
Well,
bot.
we'll figure it out. Very exciting. It looks like someone has elected to draft for TT Royal. I don't think that's exactly how it works.
Alright, I'll draft for him. All right, first pick that's set. I think JFK can play set. Yeah, I closed out. And I'm reopening the spectator link.
Looks like we're just gonna have one of those days with draft law, but it's the final draft of the night. Everyone has gotten as much information as they can for this final draft. And it's very exciting to see how exactly it goes.
All right, man. Waiting to see. Waiting for everyone to get this draft law working. Man,
The anticipation
apparently,
is killing
right,
me. We're gonna get
right.
delayed again right after I want to know so much. Because like the second draft was like it's so doomed for TD Royal. Now I feel like both teams have a chance to really excel in this draft. And I don't even know which one's gonna do well.
It's broken. Remake the draft. Oh, right side ready though. Remake the draft law links. I guess. I don't know. Pro draft it is. Just remake the lobby. Don't go to pro draft.
Well,
Nobody wants to go to pro draft.
we'll have to see which one we end up getting. But
Yeah, he remade it. Novocaine
okay. Well,
remade the draft law.
thank you, Novocaine. And it looks like we're actually potentially good. We actually got in.
I hope so.
We're good. Wait, it
Maybe.
looks
Maybe.
like we might actually have a draft starting within the 5 minutes of the game closing, unlike the last time or the first time where we got delayed, but I don't know.
We'll see.
But
We'll see.
regardless, very excited for the bans too. I mean, Avalanche cannot let go of that Viego ban. You saw what the Jarvan did? Viego will do that, but 10 times worse. So I imagine it's going to
Okay.
be banned very quickly.
We are in
Royal
draft.
to do their bans first. Is the
We are
set
in
going to
draft
stay
this
off
time.
the table? Looks like
Mumu, there's the
Mumu
Viego
going
ban.
first. Yeah, I don't think you can ever let that happen if Jarvan does that to you last
Yeah.
time. Hecarim, again, if you took the Hecarim and couldn't perform with it, now you're on red side, so you absolutely can't take it away. That was another champion that's kind of like Jarvan would be able to do that to you. Royal might just go back with Jarvan again. It's an okay blind pick. Maybe they don't get Verinda Galio, although then again, they were willing to pick into Yone, so they absolutely can pick Jarvan here and accept that Galio is going to get countered and not care.
Yeah, we shall
Um,
see. I don't know. I don't know what they pick here, honestly. I imagine it's an 80 carry. 80 carries are always safe blind picks, and yep,
yeah,
there's the
Ash has
Ash.
been doing fine this series. Even in the loss, it was doing okay. Some of the errors were a little awkward, but for the most part, Ash is going to be fine. One of the best 80 carries on the patch, and very safe, especially
Yeah,
blind.
yep. I mean, 80
Now,
carries does. You can always blind pick an 80 carry. 80 carry
if
picks don't matter.
Avalanche goes cat on dragon right now, I really, really want to see the Jarvan back. That's not
Oh,
a
it's
cat
a Lulu.
though.
That is not a cat. That is a Lulu.
Similar
Yordle.
concept. Similar
Maybe
concept
they'll
to
do the
Smolder
Kog'Maw
here.
Lulu. It's a possibility. We shall see. And the Maokai actually coming out
Okay.
again on the side of OSG Avalanche.
Novacane's pick Maokai. You know there's a level 3 gank coming.
Oh
It's
yeah, 100%.
happening. Is he gonna do the hat trick and gank mid level 3? Who knows? But there is no way that he's gonna do a full clear this game in
And the Ash
particular.
Syra, TD Royal just running back that bot lane. Which
Okay, but if
again,
you pick Ash Zyra here, doesn't Avalanche just pick Smolder before you get a chance to ban it?
we'll have to see. I don't think this Smolder's that good into Ash Zyra. Like Zyra's such a hard
I
lane
wouldn't say
bully.
so either. But
Yeah, we'll have to see.
at the same time, it did fine into Ash Karma. Yes, Zyra is a little bit harder than Karma, especially with your support the way it is. Zen Zhao, a very
Ooh.
similar pick to the Jarvan. I'm not sure that I want to see Valkyr take the camps exactly the same way. Oh, Yone blind
Oh,
pick
don't pick the
again?
Yone again. Don't pick the Yone
So,
again.
do you ban Graves? No, you ban Galio. So Verinda did fine on Galio. Obviously was willing to pick it into your Yone. It's not as powerful here without the Jarvan, but Verinda did so well that it might not matter. At the
Yeah,
same time, I don't even know where you begin to. I mean, Royal probably just are able to take Graves again, but there might be an answer for Avalanche this time. Twitch ban. Similar idea to the Smolder as a hyper carry, but I don't know that he would do that well into the Ash Lyra either.
definitely. You don't want an immobile 80 carry because you just get hit by a Zyra E, you're dead. Like 100% of the time. The Zyra
Well,
does do
Royal
so much damage.
disagrees because they banned Twitch and then they banned Smolder. So the hyper carries available are a little bit limited, but there's still plenty, right?
You got the
Some of them,
Jinx. You got
some of them are a
Tristana,
little
maybe a
bit
Zeri,
scarier. Oh,
and
Sivir
technically
feels
maybe
really
a
good.
Sivir. Yeah, I
Sivir
think
feels
Zivir's
really good
fine.
because it's one of the safer hyper carries into something like Ash Syra. Still works really well with the Lulu. Still works really well with the level 3 gank.
Yeah. Oh gosh, why am I so tired tonight? Yeah, Sivir is very
Regardless,
good at enabling the rest of her team also, because you're seeing a really strong between the Yone and the Maokai. The Sivir ulti on top of that will allow Maokai and Yone to just kind of run down the TD Royal. So Sivir is a decent enough pick here, and that's actually going to be a Lissandra in the mid lane here for Veranda. And
right? But do you just
so
pick back at the JFK Graves? I mean, it did fine last time. It's a question of if you're worried about a counter pick being available to the Graves, because then Yone could go mid. That being said, then you're sending Yone into Lissandra, which is not ideal for him as far as I'm aware.
that's actually
Jax
a Jax.
is
Hmm.
quite interesting. I'd like it if that Yone is locked in the top lane. However, it looks like it might not be. You may have made a slight miscalculation, JFK, because maybe you're not into the Yone. And
Is
in
Garen a
that
counterpick to
case,
Jax? I don't actually know.
uh, I don't know my top
Yeah,
lane matchups that well, especially ones that have not been played more than 100 times in
yeah.
competitive. So, like, this is not a very common matchup, but it looks like it's one that trainer is willing to take. Now,
I
if
think
there's
that's
one
total in
time
all the years of League of Legends, less than 100 times that we've seen Garen in professional play.
right, and if there's one time I would definitely take a Garen, it's whenever my Maokai says I'm coming up there level 3 against this Jax.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
at the same time, you kind of want to play bot lane too. But no
Yeah.
matter what, Novocaine is ganking somewhere level 3. I will put money on it. Which, to be fair, the last 2 times I said he wouldn't, and then he did. So maybe I'm just completely off.
Yeah,
But
the caster prediction going wrong in game 3. Novocaine just took out a
regardless,
farm.
these are our comps for the
Yeah,
final game.
that they are. I don't think it's a Garen mid lane. Could be. I don't think so though.
It feels kind of bad to play a melee into Slandra, but that's true of both matchups.
Yeah.
However, Garen is kind of nice in that he can sustain pretty well, doesn't get as punished by Lissandra as he would by an Ari. It's definitely. I mean, there's so many options. I'm not sure where exactly Avalanche wants to put everything. I'm more curious more about than the Yon versus Garen matchup. Yon versus Garen side. Yon versus Garen placement is the Maokai placement. Yes, he's going jungle, but what jungle is he starting and where is he ending up?
Well, we'll have to find that out when we get into game. And looks
Yeah,
like they're missing one person on the side of OSG. I'm not sure.
yeah, because we have such an extended thing going on, I think we're going to go into break a little bit early. The countdown might be a little bit off because we've got a bit of a delay. But after the break, we will be into the final game.
Cause I wanna dance, I wanna dance, I wanna dance, I wanna dance, cause I wanna dance, I wanna dance, I wanna dance. Can you meet me on the dance floor? I wanna dance, I wanna dance, I wanna dance, cause I wanna dance, I wanna dance, I wanna dance, I wanna dance, cause I wanna dance. Is it only me? Do you feel I'm sinking? Trying desperately. Something changed here. You don't see it, but I can feel it everywhere. It's funny how things change in an instant. Doesn't take much thinking, but everyone can feel the air. Do you know I'm fading, fading from you? I can't say it, I hate the truth, boy. It's funny how things change in an instant. Doesn't take much thinking, but everyone can feel the air. Do you know I'm fading from you? I can't say it, I hate the truth. Boy.
I got lost at night, under the stars up in the sky. Directions hard to find, under the stars up in the sky. I got lost at night, under the stars up in the sky. Directions hard to find, under the stars up in the sky. I don't know where to take this, I don't wanna break this. We're living in the moment, we're living in the moment. Your head is on my shoulder, but never getting older. Baby, it's you and you and I. Yeah, we're stars in the sky. Oh, you and I. Yeah, we're stars in the sky. You say that you're leaving me, the same thing you said last night. You can't do it peacefully, you won't go without a fight. So when I go, I know you'll follow me. I don't want slamming doors, no, just wait and see. You'll feel it naturally, there's no one else I see. I know you'll follow me. I don't know where to take this, I don't wanna break.
Welcome back for the final game of Royal versus Avalanche. Again, because the stakes were set so long ago, because it's now game 3. This is important for both teams. Avalanche has secured their their placement into the playoffs somewhere, but they could be a 1 through 4, I believe. At least, you know, they're trying for first. And as for Royal, they still need to secure their place in placements at all. However, if they win this, they will join Avalanche as one of the few teams that have secured their slot into the playoffs. So this is a huge game for TD Royal. Wait, I thought that about the other game. I'm not sure if that's true about this game. Apologies. Let me look at the standings once again. I believe they were tied, so that's still true. Yeah. So if they win this game, they'll be at 10 wins. No, sorry, I was thinking of Tactical Feed because that's the game we were going to feature. They have to win this week and next week to be for sure locked. If they win this week, then they have to worry about tiebreakers if they lose next week. So ignore all that. But still, they still want to win because every game matters whenever you're tied for 4th/5th and top 4 going to playoffs.
Yeah. Right now, it looks like just pretty standard 5-point here. Zinzao starting leashless, and looks like Maokai the same. Maokai's actually starting his chickens this time. So let's see. Maybe he'll do chickens red
Oh,
and being
weird.
top
A
lane.
minor camp. A minor camp. I wonder what that could mean. Maybe he's doing a really weird full clear where he recalls in between. Nope. But meanwhile, Decipher gets a really nice E because they face check into a bush with a Zyrash. You can't do that. And first blood will go to Alchemist. Zarius is going to be in such a poor position this game. And he's not even getting the level 3 gank of Novocaine, so it's not going to get better.
No, it is not. That is a bit of a rough level 1 there for the bot lane of Avalanche. So, not where you want to
Now,
be as that Sivir Lulu in this early game, getting that first blood over to the Ashe. And it is still Ashe Zyra, which is a very strong lane. They
oh,
were not.
JFK's trading so aggressively, which is good for the level 2 advantage. It's a little scary whenever you get to see every part of the map and see that Maokai is definitely coming here. Can JFK get this crash off properly?
But, yeah, I was going to say, what was I going to say? Completely lost my train of thought. Didn't, the bot lane of OSG did not respect the fact that they hadn't seen the bot lane where the bot lane from TD Royal had gone, and I
What
guess
is
they're
this?
expecting them to leash.
Novakane's here. JFK is able to jump out, which is good. He's up a level on trainer, which is good. What's not good is his health bar so low. Has to flash out. There are still 2 flashes available. They will walk away, and Novakane does get a successful level 3 gank off. JFK, come on, man. That was.
Yeah, right.
I mean, no offense to him. I understand JFK always wants to play aggressive this matchup, probably more so. Meanwhile, speaking of aggressive, he's just trading with Novakane. And Xin Zhao is on the opposite side of the map, taking all of that jungle from Maokai.
Yeah.
You know, there's some point to be spoken. Like, you trade your flash, like, oh man, I lost my flash. That sucks for this aggro matchup. No, I traded my flash because this Maokai is now miles behind, lost his blue buff, and Valkyr also gets an aggressive gank off, gets the flash from mid, and is just up a camp.
Yeah. Very good start here from the side of TD Royal, honestly. First blood going over to the bot lane, just good early gank from that Maokai, or good
Actually,
reaction
was
play, I should say,
disgusted.
from JFK. Okay, there we go. My game froze for a second there. But yeah, Ashe Zyra just doing so much damage, even to that Sivir, who's traditionally a pretty safe pick in lane because you do have the spell shield. But JFK getting traded on pretty hard here, dropping down low. But
Yeah, but he's not weak side anymore. Valkyr has been pathing up here for a while. Gets the flash out of trainer, and now they have the ability to 2v1 for the lane position. But Valkyr's actually going for the crab and says JFK can handle himself. I'm not sure if that's true.
Yeah, we'll have to see on this one.
Meanwhile,
Check
Zeri
back
is
in a
going really
moment.
aggressive into a huge minion wave. And yeah, JFK is down health and has to deal with this minion wave somehow. The E is good, does not get the stun off. And now, I mean, how does he handle this? Looks like he handles it by bringing Valkyrie back after the crab. No flash on trainer, remember. Has to just walk away, but kind of goes in for the silence. Is still probably going to be fine because JFK has no mana. But it looks like Valkyrie did have time to get that crab. Just a cheeky little tempo advantage before coming back to help the lane.
Yeah, Novakane is still bot side, trying to make that gank work.
Is now trading into an EWO, and this is kind of scary, but is able to just walk away because Q-Slow is pretty big.
Yeah. Slot was a fun champ, actually. I enjoyed that one into those melee matchups. But
Wait,
it
I think
definitely
this is the
feels
first-
bad to be playing the melee side of that.
Wait, E used? I mean, it's kind of awkward. Yes, you did bait Garen to walk all the way up. I don't think he cares. Now your recall is so delayed. Do you have teleport, though?
Yeah.
It is Ignite.
A little of a ballsy play there. Or a little ballsy back position there, I should say. You should know that Garen can just walk at you and stop your back.
During all of that, Novakane was able to come back and grab the jungle of Valkyr for the first time. So it looks like the jungle is actually pretty even in terms of XP and gold. Tempo's a little awkward because Novakane had to back for boots, which is never your favorite thing as a jungler, although the movement speed is nice. And Valkyr hasn't taken his first back yet. But
I've been
this
flamed.
might be a gank. Gets right behind them, sees that he has the free and clear gank. Decipher's just so slowed by the Lulu, has to flash. So that's another flash for a gank.
I was gonna say, I've been flamed in solo queue for getting first back tier 2 boots as a jungler before, so I understand.
JFK's level 6 to level 5 Garen. This is the problem not having teleport. Does have to come back to an awkward lane state. It's just getting traded so hard on. It would be one thing if you let the wave push and wait till you're level 6 as well, but he didn't. And now his health bar's low, but he's Garen, so, you know.
He will sustain quite a bit, especially with that Doran shield. But we'll have to see. JFK might just look for the dive here.
Right, but Trainer's gonna hit 6 off of any minion now, so JFK plays it right on the edge. That minion, no. That minion, maybe. It's so close. Trainer going to go aggressive. I think just trade. But this is so bad for Trainer, who has no teleport and is losing so many minions while he's dead anyways.
Yeah, I don't think Trainer hit 6 on that.
No, it was so close. I'm pretty sure he was like 1 minion away. I'd have to click on it to be sure, but Yon just doing some scouting, long range scouting.
Using his E just to get a ward down in the enemy team's jungle. Simple stuff. But they
Looks like
will.
Valhyr. Yeah, Valhyr's gonna use this moment to get grubs. As you can see, Maokai's on a ward with just boots. Call of Fields beats boots every time on objectives. And
Yep.
the mid lane was pretty much in the Slaunter favor, and top lane, you just saw what happened there. So,
Yeah.
nice to move up your members and get those grubs.
Definitely. And yeah, just the first 3 grubs going over to the side of TD Royal. Looking like a very good start right now on the side of TD Royal. And just this matchup feels so bad for Trainer right now. I feel like you got the wave pushing towards the enemy team. You can't even freeze it at this point, and just Jax.
Right, JFK commits the ultimate. Trainer can run away for now. Looks like JFK jumps and is out of gas after that, so he will be able to escape. But again, no teleport. Wave's still pushing out against him. Really awkward spot.
Yeah, definitely.
And his
a
jungler's
really...
right there. His jungler's got boots. He's like, I don't want to come, dude. Look how much gold's in my inventory. You can deal with that on your own, right? No? Okay, fine. I'll come. But this is just a boots Maokai.
Yeah, that Maokai is sitting on 1,400 gold right now. But
Okay, Trainer is going pretty low. However, Garen ult does a lot of burst. JFK just flashes, though. It might not be enough. Will use the ultimate. JFK will go down. Boots only or not. Novakane's got it, and that's going to be a plate and an entire wave denial to JFK.
Yeah, but that should be first Drake going over to the side of TD Royal, so not the end of the world. Definitely still good cross-map play. Getting this Drake, gonna start that Drake stacking as that aggressive bot lane that's already gotten the first blood. But definitely not what you want. It's a good thing Jax does scale better than Garen, and I do think in the long run, Jax is going to be able to win that 1v1 in the sidelines. Like, Garen's nice, but especially if he's going damage Garen.
This is something brewing up right now. Damage Garen is important, but look at what's going on in the blue buff of Avalanche right now. Zen's just trying to take it. People are collapsing. Valkyr should know that people are coming. I don't think he has a way out. Blast Plan is his only hope. Just Maokai coming over. But Maokai can CC you for a long time. Flash out. Zyra's going to try to zone out one person. Zeno's going to try to zone another. But he buffers the ultimate of Yon. Lulu ult knocks up. Not enough. Now Matrix is a little bit caught because of this one. Might end up being a 1-for-1 trade. No, it's not even close. Because everyone's coming back. Even Verinda might be caught as well. Has no ultimate. Flashes at the wrong time. Verinda might be dead too off of this. And it's just off of Valkyr being greedy for the blue buff.
Yep. Definitely unfortunate timing. I get where he's going for. You are that strong early game jungler in that Xin Zhao. Definitely win the 1v1 versus Maokai, but the entire team for the side of the Avalanche collapsed.
The only way you could do that is if you take the blue buff first, then go to the dragon. It's a little unintuitive, but it's safer to take the dragon than the blue buff. Whenever you're at the blue buff and your team is back in lane, they're the ones that get to collapse. The enemy team, not yours. So unfortunately, you can't do it in that order.
That is definitely unfortunate. And seeing this bot lane, I don't even know what's going in the favor of who right now, but it looks like Novocaine is looking for another gank bot lane.
Right, and right now, Ashe has all summoners up. Decipher does not. The ultimate from Maokai is good, but again, Decipher doesn't have summoners. So will get rooted up. Does not have ultimate because he used it in that last fight as well. You're not going to be able to burst Lulu. So Decipher will go down, and it's just awkward. It's almost as if Decipher should have been the one playing more defensively because he's the one without flash.
Yeah.
Unfortunately caught up by the Maokai ult and a free kill.
Also, despite this Garen being 2-1, the CS difference is kind of crazy right now. That is a 30 CS lead for JFK in top lane right now.
Okay, Zen just showed and is going over to the Raptor camp. Novocaine wants to make this gank happen before Zen's comes back. However, Verinda is able to E out. This does mean Zen has to back off of the camp, however. So it did its job. The gank did the pressure that it needed to, mainly securing my Raptors by ganking your mid laner.
Yeah, it was strange pathing, to say the least, from Val here there. Just walk through the mid lane and hop over the wall, get to those chickens. But it looks like
now, this would
TD
be
Royal's
Grubs
gonna
4
be
through
setting
6.
up Cryo.
This would be Grubs 4 through 6 for TD Royal. However, I do feel like their strong point has passed for the top side. Ashe is pretty strong. JFK, not as much compared to Garen. And Zen, not so much to Maokai. It looks like they will respect it ever because Decipher came up here. Tyrison did not. So, you know how the best way to overcome those advantages falling dry is a numbers advantage. Meanwhile, top lane, JFK's just solo killing Trainer, Who has to flash away?
Yeah. JFK did not have flash there, or else I'm 90% sure he's going to flash after Garen there. But it's just going to be another wave denied there from Trainer. Forgot names for a second there. Losing my mind. Only slightly tired.
Now, this does have a cross-map play. It's not as easy to see, but Ashe is losing stuff for this. She did have to back on an awkward timer. Bot lane turrets plates are going over to Zarya, so it's not completely free, but they just got 6 grubs, a kill, and denied Garen. All of the cost of an Ashe losing gold, and like, yes, Ashe is now more of a hyper carry than she used to be, but she's still got R button regardless of how much gold she's got, and she's got plenty of gold anyways.
Right. She does have that Bork done, which I'm kind of surprised to see. There's a new solo queue build that's been coming out recently where you actually build static Shiv first and then go Kraken Slayer on Ashe, so I'm a bit surprised to not see that today. Just that Bork, really, but...
Oh, Zarya is setting up a false back. Just queues the bush. Looks like it just wants to stay in lane like normal. Clean laning, no bush ganks. I'm here. Fight me. Because you like to see that sometimes the AD carry goes in the bush. It's just like, but they're going to face check me. Zarya says, I'm just going to queue the bush and let him know. Just for that free consistent damage.
Yep. And just, you're seeing JFK just hard zoning Trainer off of this minion wave right now as that Jax. And it feels bad. Garen is a level down.
Yeah, and Maokai has 2 lanes that are under intense pressure, so, can't be in 2 places at once. Has to figure something out. Goes bot lane, which might work out, but top lane's looking so rough because of it. This time Decipher has flash. Ashe does not! Does have barrier! But the knock damage is just a little... Wait, no, she lives! The Q is just short! And it looks like they will trade sums, but they will live. Meanwhile, JFK is still completely bullying Trainer up there.
Yeah. The top lane matchup is not looking great right now for the Garen. I mean, what do you expect when you see Garen in competitive play? Either hard win, because the enemy team doesn't know how to play against it, or you kind of not have the best game, I feel like. But it looks like Avalanche is starting to Drake here. This is the second Drake, first Drake for them, and are we going to see a Chemtech Soul for Game 3? Every game? Let's see, I gotta see. It is a Chemtech Soul.
Classic.
3 Chemtech Souls in a row tonight. Gotta love to see it. There, I thought it was supposed to be
going aggro? Not quite.
I thought it was supposed to be random, like equal chance for all souls, right? It's
equal chance,
3 games in a row.
It's equal chance, but once it's set for the night, it's set. So
apparently,
it works like this.
There's something with the lobby codes, like they know these are all the same teams playing, so like the lobby codes are linked together. They know, right? It does.
Now, this does also lead into the Herald. It's rare to see both sides of the map go over to one team. But they are committed here. It's 3v3. Zyra's on the way. Lulu and Sivir on the way. Asher's not. But Ashe can arrow. The fight over has already started. Verena making a really good ult to bait in. However, the ultimate ends and now Verena's in a lot of trouble. Valkyrie's in a lot of trouble. Red team gets it anyways. Lulu is here. Sivir is here. They did not expect Zarius. Zarius was supposed to be bot lane with the Ashe, but he's not. They get Val here. They almost get Verenda. Novocaine does go down. But it's an absolute destruction of TD Royal on the top side because they didn't bring their Ashe.
Yeah, you just see, Xerxes. How do you pronounce that? Xerxes?
I've been pronouncing it like 10 different times this series, so don't worry about it.
I'm gonna say Xerxes. How about that? But yeah, you see the strength of that Sivir with that ultimate, just being able to move to these objectives so much quicker than that Ashe. And yeah, Ashe is getting soul and XP right now, but Avalanche did get Rift Herald and 3 kills for 1 there. So
yeah,
definitely feels a little bit bad for that TD Royal, and Trainer's just gonna get a top lane tier 1.
Yeah, it's a little funny part of tonight's stream. Usually, if a name is looking hard to pronounce, production will give us pronunciation guides before we go live. But unfortunately, we were last minute moved to this game, so I have no idea how to say Xerxes. I apologize. I promise whenever you get into playoffs, if you do. I believe they're locked, so that they definitely will. I will do better next time.
It almost reminds me of a name from like Organization 13 from Kingdom Hearts, like Xanthus or something. Xerxes. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Xerxes. That's what I'm going with right now.
Regardless, despite the early game aggression of TD Royal, and you called out how much better they were doing this early game, I mean, just over a few short minutes, suddenly everything is looking the opposite. Dragons are
Yeah.
even. They did get 6 grabs for themselves at least, but the gold is looking the other way. And just looking at the lane's pressure, JFK is the only one that's really doing a lot of work here. It is into Yone now, which is a little bit weirder of a matchup. It feels like Yone kind of struggling almost. But I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I
that
was gonna
Lissandra is
say.
going to have a good time against Garen.
Jax is a great champion into any champions that want to auto attack a lot, and both the solo laners for Avalanche auto attack a lot. So Jax is going to
Now,
be
Garen's
fine
coming
into
down
the
here.
matchups.
Garen is hiding right now. They say show Novocaine on the ward. So they're hoping that TD Royal commit to the 3v3 and then get a jump scare Garen. Doesn't look like TD Royal want to commit to the 3v3, however. The Herald will make it a little bit more promising to teleport in behind this little flank TP, and Sivers in the Herald, which is kind of awkward because now she's committed. She's trying to ult out, but she's walking into a Zen Zhao. Cyber ult just hits absolutely everyone, and the Herald commit is so awkward because of the TP. Yes, mid lane does get solo killed. Putting the gear in there was a good idea, but bot lane just completely flips the game on its head.
Yep, and deciding factor of that, JFK with the TP. You take that Garen, you take Ignite, you don't have that TP to match, so just a numbers advantage on the side of TD Royal on that one. So just gonna, and not to mention JFK getting a massive stun, a flash stun actually into the middle of 3 people to combo with the Zyra ulti.
Oh, that's exactly what JFK wanted. I'm not sure if it's really what he should have wanted, but that's just how JFK plays. He'll recall in front of you. Well, looks like it doesn't actually end up in anything except for a tempo loss for JFK. Meanwhile, Valkyr matching up here. Not exactly who you want to match Leon. Like, that guy has smite. Get him out of there.
Still good
JFK,
damage on
once again,
Leon.
getting his recall canceled. Trainer is willing to go for these JFK recall cancels every time. But this does mean JFK is recalling 30 seconds before Dragon spawns.
Yeah.
I mean, before it was like a minute before Dragon spawns.
Yeah. Definitely a little bit of an awkward recall timing there. Maybe it was planned, but I'm not 100% sure. I have to be honest. You want to get your recalls in much earlier than that, especially when Drake's spawning. And it looks like they're going to be setting JFK bot side. We got Verinda top lane. He does have TP. So there's a lot of sense in this time. But Zyra back
They
here.
might
Looks like TD Royal's just going to be giving it up.
Right, I'm curious if they're going to overload the top lane to try to get M8 Trix down, while Trix might assume that they're going to go for Dragon. Doesn't look like that play's going to work out for them because it's a little late. Yone does stay.
That's awkward.
So, Verinda can E. There's not really an easy way for Trix to get out, especially whenever he's ulted up immediately. They can block the ultimate, but not the Q ultimate! So he'll be okay.
Yeah. Definitely spooky there, as they own, though. And this is ambitious to stick around.
Wait, Zen stuck around! You can't E like that whenever- Wait, actually found it! It just barely gets the shutdown. It's such an amount of gold. I guess Yone didn't realize that his E was unprotected. JFK now fighting in the 1v2, but he's Jax against 2 people that really cannot easily catch up. Lulu Sivir also chasing on the opposite side of the map. Looks like Garen is giving up the chase spot side, so JFK will be fine. Valkyr, however, will not be because of the flash. Verinda going for the root. That's still a Sivir ult chasing her with a Lulu. Lulu gets the knockup with a stun. It's going to be just 2 kills for the bot lane of Avalanche. Meanwhile, mid lane, Decipher is getting a nice root. I don't think this pressure is going to lead anywhere, and that's a top tower that could come under fire by Avalanche if it's not dealt with properly.
Yeah. That was a crazy series of cross-map plays there. Getting that dive onto the Yone, the Matrix, definitely. But then rotating the bot lane, like I keep mentioning it, that Sivir ulti gives you so much move speed. Move speed, the most underrated stat in this game. It just gives you so much chase down potential. Lissandra did not have the ultimate there to try and save herself, and yeah, just a really good play from the bot lane of Avalanche, really.
Yeah, and Verinda is not popping off this game like she did last game.
Yeah.
This time, picking into the Yone, knew it was available. Although, again, it was a flex.
Yeah.
Pixel Lissandra just doesn't work out as well as the Galio did.
Yep. I mean, the Galio was banned, so it's not like the Galio was going to be a pick in this game. But, yeah, just definitely not having as much of an impact on the Lissandra as they did on the Galio last game.
But JFK, not popping off as much as game 2, doing a lot better than game 1. So everything is kind of in flux here. Sivir, however, again, is one of those characters that, like, you don't recognize this becoming a hyper carry, Sivir absolutely will become a hyper carry this game if it keeps going on.
Oh, yeah.
Xerxes has 2 items right now.
Yeah, and for
And
5
Maokai
and 1.
ult, but Zen cannot
Close
block
space,
it like
he's
that
all
because it's within your circle, and now he's just dead.
Oh,
And that's right next to the Baron pit. Meanwhile, can Verinda match here? The silence lasts the entirety of the E, so Garen can just come in. The ultimate, however, will save Verinda for now. Does Garen want to just tank some tower shots? Has flash available. Meanwhile, on this fight, Zyra ult zoning out. Novocaine is just taking a bunch of damage. On the other side of it, JFK is in a bit of an awkward spot. Yona's found Ashe. Yona's on top of Ashe, and Ashe is not responding. This is just so much damage. Ashe is going to be down. Decipher is going to be down. Again, right next to the Baron, JFK has to run for his life. However, they took down Novocaine. I don't think this Baron is really possible unless they really want to play it on the edge. JFK does have to teleport, so I doubt they want to go for it, but JFK's using it to get out. I don't think they want to go with it with no tank, though.
I was gonna say, Matrix could definitely look for
Yon
that
is
kill on
aware.
JFK with that TP.
Yeah, it's pretty close. And once again, surrounded in the same place you just TP'd out of. Eing onto Lulu is only going to save you for so long. Maybe you get the kill on Lulu. It's looking close. Now you've got to get out between a Sivir and a Yon. What is going on? JFK is having his own little adventure. They're going to pause here. I'm
That
sorry.
was...
JFK just teleported from enemy red buff to his own blue buff to be caught in between the same 3 people he just TP'd out of. But then he gets a kill. What is going on?
He forgot his blue side, I think. He's trying to run towards his own tower, and he realized, hey, the top tower's still up. I have safety there. Wait, I'm on the wrong side of the map.
Yeah, you don't really think about it that often where you're teleporting to, because usually, no matter where you teleport to, is going to be pretty safe. But blue buff ward was probably not it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
But
not.
then again, what can I say? He got a kill. So
He could have TP'd. He could have TP'd to that mid tower. Let's just say that.
He could have TP'd the Nexus tower. He could have TP'd anywhere. But I guess the mind game was, I'll make M8 Trick stay for 10 years, get Lulu out of position, flanking the own fight of the people collapsing on me.
Yeah.
Rescue myself from getting collapsed on.
Yeah, but now Lulu's the support though. Like, it's not really worth it to kill the support in that situation. Granted,
Okay,
he
so it looks
doesn't
like
die.
they
He
will
should
let
just get back
JFK
in here.
escape. Verinda being a little bit more brave in his Garen than last time, but tower's right there, so it's mostly safe.
Yeah. And now we're just
Gonna
gonna
have a little-
see. I guess things are gonna
little
calm
buffer
down
pause.
for a minute. I'm not sure how long that'll last, but it's a little bit calm right now. And yeah, buffer
Well, it's
pause.
definitely calm
good
right now
for
on my screen, so.
Yeah. The game is just there. We go. It's moving again. You do see Xerxes taking that not Rift Herald, the crab, scuttle crab. The purple
But this
scuttle
dragon is
crab
kind of
reminds me Rift
important.
Herald. Yeah.
TD Royal has given up the last few dragons for tempo plays. You can only do that for so long. Especially whenever you're playing the CC comp against Chemtech's Soul. JFK gets a really nice E that's going to land or put him in a bad position. But Xerxes is right here. Now, the ultimate from JFK means that he will take a lot of damage for a long time. E means even more so. The stun gets spell shield, which is good, but you can't spell shield death. And unfortunately, Matrix will go down. Now, this is a Sivir chasing a Jax. I'm not sure if that's good, well advised. The Sivir will just walk away.
Yeah, I don't think Sivir wins that 1v1 versus Jax at this stage of the game, especially with their spell shield being down, so makes a lot of sense to just walk away. But with that, the mid laner for Avalanche is off the map for the next 20 seconds, and Drake is spawning, and why do I have objective timers off? But less than a minute.
It's about the same time. What will happen is Matrix will spawn, be able to TP in right whenever Dragon spawns, which might be what they have to do. JFK doesn't have teleport though, so it looks like they are willing to give it up for tempo. JFK isn't here, and they're getting caught by Maokai. The follow-up is a little slow. Yon hasn't teleported yet because he's still dead. Verinda has nowhere to go though. Has the ult into Zanya's, which is pretty good. Here comes the Yon teleport. Verinda E's out, and they actually just defuse the entire fight, and JFK just gets to push top for free. Now, this Dragon is still going to go down because you do not have the Jax teleport, but you just got Yon TP and a bunch of ultimates using only the Dragon for a tower. I don't think it's the best play, but man, was that almost a disaster if you get stuck in that fight.
Yeah, definitely a spooky fight there for sure. And surprisingly, no one died. Outside of Matrix dying at the
pulled
top.
out quite the trick. You know that old stopwatch Zanya's trick? Verinda basically just did that, which is good enough to get her out with her life. Valkyrie does not have that trick. No Zanya's, no stopwatch, no ultimate. Does have a flash though. and Yon has to eventually go back.
Yeah. And JFK did get a tier 2 in the top lane while all that was happening bot lane. And Valhyr's in a little bit of a tricky position here. I don't think
Right,
he
so
can win a
as
1v1 versus
Avalanche,
Matrix.
you still are happy with that third dragon, but that Jax is becoming quite the monster as well.
Yeah. And I think we know. I think at this stage of the game too, Jax, it doesn't matter who he's up against in the side lane. I think he beats both the Yone and the Garen. So I'm curious to see how Avalanche is going to be able to respond to this Jax split push, which I'm surprised he's going top lane right now. JFK will have TP up soon. I think at this point you want to send him bot lane to try and get that tier 2 bot, but who knows?
It might just be a case of they don't think Baron's a threat right now, and they want to make sure Verenda does not have to match that Garen. But this does mean Garen gets to walk in and potentially take blue buff.
Yeah, Verena's been having a rough time against that Garen in the solo lane, and yeah, they do get the blue buff. But is Verenda going to have a much better time versus the Yone is the real question.
Right, it's gotten to the point where a game where Yone is quite the threat of his own. Early game, sure, Verenda did okay. Now, she's definitely going to have to watch her step.
Yeah, 100%. And for now, it looks like it's just a...
Oh, get in the room, right under the tower's nice. Now, Matrix did not take tower shots there, but it does diffuse the Yone from using his E for a while, which is nice.
But now Yone's just going to keep getting the push, and Veranda needs to back.
Actually, JFK came down to match, but this means Maokai knows that any engage here is good. JFK is not here, does have teleport, but Verenda and JFK teleporting could be easily walked away from, so they're just going to use their pressure out to push him away. JFK's still chasing. Chasing with a ward, even. Matrix doesn't have ultimate anymore. He should just be straight up dead. Only opportunity is to maybe queue up, but this means they're going to overload the top side. Going in on the support is kind of dangerous, but they might just get it for free. Decipher will go down. Arrow finds the Maokai, though. So it's a 1-for-1 on the top side. Somehow Yone escaped whenever I just said that he was absolutely 100% dead. Now JFK's teleporting because any kill they get here can be a Baron. There's no teleport for Yone. Even if they don't get a kill, they can still go for it if they wanted to. But it's kind of awkward without Decipher having any words, because Decipher's dead.
And Blue Team just lost their tier 2 mid. TD Royal just lost their tier 2 mid lane after all that.
They still have a timing, though. The recalls are coming out. They're unaware that this could happen. Valkyrie and Alchemist will not take this that quickly. Once JFK gets here, though, the damage will pile up. And there's just no answer. Yone has no TP. Novocaine is dead. I think it's just a free Baron.
I think it is as well. So a very good call from TD Royal there, I think. Yeah,
absolutely. They knew they had teleport advantage.
Over. Yep.
You know JFK was disappointed not getting that kill on Matrix. Like, man,
I
worked so hard for it. And then someone's like, hey, JFK, isn't your TP up? Oh yeah, let's just go do this. It's fine.
Yeah. Let's just go wreck the bot lane. Or top lane, sorry. Get that Baron buff, you know. Easy. Easy Baron buff call, really. And yeah, they're gonna have JFK matching the Yone for now, it looks like.
The slight pressure point here is, however, Matrix has teleport, Verenda has teleport. This is soul spawning in 1 minute.
Yeah.
And Asteroid now is answering top. You have time to go from top to bot lane, but you have to do it through some really awkward phase checkpoints. And they do eventually have to get bot side. Because you're not making the tempo play on soul. You can't do that. It's illegal.
No, definitely not. I mean, they do have the Baron buff. TD Royal does have the Baron buff to push these waves, and I'm pretty sure JFK just wins the 1v1 versus Matrix now. I don't think there's a world where
tight
Matrix
on the time
wins
right
that.
now.
Yeah.
Looks like they are gonna walk for the dragon about right on time. JFK, however, finds Matrix, and Matrix has no easy way to get out. Has ultimate. We'll just use it forward, but the E is just so good at delaying. The health regen is enough to keep Yone alive for a little bit, but all it means is that JFK will also die. However, Soul is spawning arrows on my mini-map. Kind of interesting. Now,
I saw that as well.
There's no arrow available here for reasons unknown. Must have been a glitch. But this means that it's a 3v4 because Garen is top lane. Now, Avalanche is more than willing to go with this dragon to get Garen big, but they're also willing to stay here and make it so no one can answer Garen. Looks like Verenda wants to recall, just can't because the 3v3 is too close. You can't leave. We'll do it
Yeah.
now, but that means it's a 3v3. She's recalling on Vision. Zyra ult is good enough, however, can they get out? I don't think they want to fight this 3v3. Valkyrie will commit the ultimate. There's no Maokai ultimate. Sivir does not have ultimate either, so they will just use Zen Flash. And Garen still got the tower, but they do get the dragon, and quite the risky play.
Yeah, definitely. But Drake does fall in favor of TD Royal, and somehow, at the end of all that, I guess she called JFK getting that kill on Matrix. Sure, we'll call it that.
It was definitely interesting because they had to figure out how to answer Trainer without giving up the dragon, and somehow they do it. I think it could have been done slightly cleaner. You didn't have to have Miranda recall on Vision, but at least you didn't lose your entire base for your second dragon.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, JFK going for any engage ever. This is kind of risky. Matrix has ultimate available again. JFK doesn't have Q out. He's just dead. And now there's a teleport coming in. Novocaine is just going to be able to stop whoever it is. Miranda is ulting, so she might be safe for now. Has Zanya's as well. Will use it immediately, but there's no follow-up. No one is coming to save her. That E is not fast enough. No one's going to save her, and they're all going to die anyways because Trainer's just on the back line. And she's just completely out of this fight. I mean, if you're Alchemist, you're just wondering what the heck just happened to your team mid lane. This should be the end of the game.
I do believe so. Avalanche should be able to end this game right now. It's just an Ashe. What's Ashe gonna do? You got Maokai with Flash about to be up in like 20-ish seconds. That Ashe cannot walk up or clear this wave.
Right, Sivir's gonna be able to destroy towers pretty quickly. Garen can absolutely zone the Ashe completely away from here. Plus, you got a Yone for bonus as well. Sivir will destroy that tower. Spawns are just not up in time, and Avalanche will get another win, making sure that they will be near the top of the standings for playoffs.
Yeah. Well, that was an exciting 3-game series.
Yeah,
Very back and forth.
I was not ready for that game to end, to be honest. That
Yeah, me
last
neither.
fight was a little out there. I don't think it was forced by Avalanche, right? Avalanche saw the Ashe bot lane, and yeah, I mean, yeah, you saw Ashe bot lane, and yet the fight was engaged by JFK, and it's just a little awkward. But the rest of the game was very well played for TD Royal. I think it. But this does mean that OSG is now secured first place, and it was near the top. I didn't know it was exactly first place. So next week they just get to put someone in the ground, but they're chilling.
Yeah. Maybe they'll play around a little bit next week. Maybe try out some new comms, try out some different champions. We'll have to see.
Oh, I have bad news. They have a bye because RAR has elected to not play at all. So if there's a tiebreaker, they get quite a few weeks off actually. So we'll see how that goes. But I mean, props to Royal. Game 1 was an anomaly apparently, because after game 1, I was ready to call it a quick night. And then they come back and make 2 very competitive games. I mean, obviously, game 2 was not competitive. They completely destroyed it. And game 3, you know, there's a few key moments that they made missteps, but they were very much in that game and playing very well. And I think that just putting Valkyrie on more aggressive junglers like the Xin Zhao and Jarvan was very good. Veranda did very well in game 2, so just more of that, and they should be good. But Avalanche showing why they're first place in the league.
Yep, definitely. And yeah, overall, just a crazy series, really. Very back and forth. Both teams had an advantage, I think, in all 3 games. Had a gold advantage. So definitely a crazy series.
Although someone has got to stop this Novocaine man from ganking level 3. It can't work every time. Game 2 it arguably didn't, but that is kind of absurd to go into every game ganking level 3, because it shows that, like, that's your strategy. And then the next team that plays them, which will be in playoffs, should be aware of that, because it clearly works for Novocaine.
Yeah.
But you know, you already saw a series or a game where that was punished heavily. I'd argue a big part of game 2 was Veranda and Valkyrie collapsing on Novocaine's clear strategy of ganking level 3 every game. They just unfortunately couldn't pull it off in game 3.
Yep. It is definitely unfortunate, but at the end of it all, a very well played series from both teams. Like you said, I was ready to write off Royal after game one too, but they definitely pulled it back. Had a very strong game two, and game three was probably the closest out of all three games. Like there
Oh,
was,
absolutely.
yeah, JFK was doing really well on that side lane. Was able to kill pretty much anyone who came to match him, and yeah, just maybe just a little bit of a misstep towards the end there, and Avalanche were able to end the game.
But that's kind of what you invite whenever you play these tempo style games. Whenever you put all of your eggs in the JFK basket, you give up multiple dragons so that way JFK can be in the lead. You are inviting a moment where someone missteps and the game's over.
Yep.
So it's definitely a risk that you take, but it does give you this advantage where JFK did the most damage in the game because
Yeah.
you put all those eggs in their basket. So congrats to OSG Avalanche for securing first place. TD Royal, I'm going to check the off-stream game, which I don't even know if it ended yet because obviously that was the one we were going to stream and did end up getting delayed. But depending on how Tactical Feed versus Trash Panda Esports go, TD Royal have quite the match next week for making sure they make playoffs because they are against Dynasty Eclipse, who are currently not viable to make it to playoffs. And Trash Panda Esports are against TD Poro, their sister team, who you may remember from TD Royal versus TD Poro last week.
Fun series to watch.
So JFK is going to be coaching the enemy top laner and other people like, please beat these Trash Panda Esports. We can't afford to not be in playoffs because both of those matchups are very important. And the one currently going on right now of Trash Panda versus Tactical Feed for playoff potential. So we will get that information to you probably by the podcast, or you can of course join the Discord and find the various information available. But for this match, for this series, that is all of our stream. So thank you all.
Fish did say it's Zarzies.
I saw that, but I figured it was too late. Like, okay, we figured out how to correctly pronounce the 80 carries name. Now that we're done. So
Games are over.
Regardless. Yeah, so apologies to Zarzies. I think I pronounced it multiple ways. Once again, I would have probably made sure to know how to pronounce it if I knew this was the game we were casting. Thanks to the players for being flexible and letting production in, of course. Regardless. Alexi will be back tomorrow with the other leagues. Arbiter will be back next week. I believe we know what we are casting. It'll be Spelling Bee Champions versus Riftbusters is what we have now. Sometimes that changes the last minute because of how standings are. But it looks like that will be very impactful. So I bet we'll stick with that. That's going to be Sector 2, the other sector. And the winner of that basically determines which one of the two get to go on to playoffs. So definitely join us next week for Arbiter. If you're curious about the standings, either join the Discord or wait for the podcast, which will be on the YouTube channel by Sunday. And thank everyone for joining.
Bye.
We're living in the moment, we're living in the moment. Your head is on my shoulder, we're never getting older. Baby, it's you and yeah, we're stars in the sky. Oh, yeah, we're stars in the sky.
have you learned?